Hello everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me on another stream this week. Welcome Amanda, hello from France, hello over the other side of the pond. Welcome Jana and Paulina and Zoe, welcome in. Lovely to have you all here with me this evening. Welcome Art Junkie and Sarah. Want to get up and start colouring, but my kitty doesn't want me to stop petting him. The struggle of owning a pet, Sarah, is the wanting to stay snuggling with them forever, but knowing you want to do other stuff in life too. I was downstairs just after finishing my dinner and Lexi came and sat on my lap and was like, I'm gonna go now. It's always sad. Welcome Leandri at Leanne3 Crafts. Welcome Kimberlyn, welcome. I am feeling particularly cold tonight, so I'm channeling my inner Amy Ward art, and I've got my hoodie on, the blanket hoodie, nice and cozy. So if you wonder why is there a sheep with me, it's just what I'm wearing. It does keep me nice and cozy. Temperature's definitely dropped here in the UK now, and oh, it's getting colder in evenings. And during the day and in the mornings. Hi Ivy, welcome. Thanks for joining. We are finishing off at this page. I think I should be able to finish it today. I really do hope so. Because what I'm planning on doing is just doing pencil shading for this central circle. Oh, my video's a bit delayed. No, we're okay now. I'm just going to do shading here and keep the wallpaper pattern nice and flat and sort of keep it to the background, as I quite like the colours I've got going on. Hello Nikki, hello from Scotland. I'm sure it's much colder up there than it is down here for me in the south. Quick question about basing. When you base, do you choose a colour close to the mid-tone as your base? No, when I base, I try and pick the lightest shade, so the highlight tone, because it's easier to go darker than it is to go lighter. So I try and pick a lighter colour, which is why with my alcohol markers and all my other markers, I do use up a lot of the pastel shades first, because I like basing with lighter colours. But I do try and bring in some darker colours here and there just to, you know, give some variety. Hello from Canada. Art Junkie's in Canada. Miss Steve, I knew on Monday electrician had to come out of the house, so I couldn't stay, so I watched the whole time. I missed Monday's stream too. I was too engrossed in Grey's Anatomy and I wasn't feeling my best on Monday, but I'm feeling much better now. I'm going to pop my glasses on because I'm struggling to focus on chat. There we go. Welcome Rochelle at Chaluna Crafts. Welcome in, and welcome Lucy. Hope everything's going well with you, Lucy. Hope baby girl's doing good. Glad you did one with alcohol marker as the base so I can figure out how to do this. Yeah, I do, especially in my colouring heavens. In fact, I'm trying to think of a colouring heaven where I haven't done a marker base. I don't think there is one. The paper isn't the best quality, and I find when you have paper that isn't the best quality, it's easier to do a base, because then you have the colour of the paper is all covered up, the white of the paper I mean, and you just add a bit of shading on top and it goes well. I was working and missed your logo stream. Yeah, I was working last night too, Yana. I've just noticed Yana and Zoe are both now orange bees. You've been members for 6 months. That's so exciting. The way I've got my memberships set up is that the longer you've been a member, the more like a real bee it looks. So it starts with blue, then goes purple, pink, orange, yellow. Yellow on chat, to be honest, but the yellow one's much yellower. It's definitely orange. It's always fun seeing my little rainbow of bees. You miss doing videos. just give yourself time to spend with your baby girl. That's what's most important, isn't it, Lucy? And the videos will be there when you're ready, when your life's ready. Oh gosh, Steve's Lego exploded at the end. Oh no. Did you manage to fix it? That's what I'm hoping to do with my Amazon paper books. I've quite a few Alice books that have large areas. Yeah, I think they're perfect for large areas of getting that nice smooth layer of colour down. But you do have to be careful. If you're doing a large area, make sure to keep the edges of the alcohol marker wet. So say you start colouring here and you come around here, but then you want to do a bit down here, keep coming back to the wet areas alcohol markers. Some brands are better than others. I find Ohuhu stays wet a little bit longer. I had a cheaper brand of alcohol marker that didn't do too well. And just, it kind of just soaked into the paper immediately almost. Yay, Orange Bee. Got the last prompt page finished for Shannon and Angela. Now to pick the next before September is over. Space-Tember. Yeah, that'd be a great opportunity to get a last page coloured. Right, I have picked out a few pencils to shade over the top. And I've decided to go for Polychromos because I realised I've never used Polychromos in a colouring heaven before. I've used Prismacolors and Artex, but never Polychromos, which they are my favourite pencils. I've heard they're not the best in these, which maybe is why I haven't coloured in them, but it's good to try things out. I will zoom you in a bit as I am focusing on this central circle. There we go. No, it's still in bits at the moment. He rebuilt a little of it, but he needs to do it off camera. Simba is almost finished, just a head left to do. Lovely. Yeah, of course you can share your channel, no problem. So for the green, I've just got chromium green opaque to add a little bit of shading to. And as always, at the end of the stream, I'll add all the pencils I've used in the description. I hope everyone's day has gone well. I have been struggling with Colouring Mojo recently, the past week or so. I really haven't been feeling very inspired by my colouring. I've been doing a lot of colour by numbers, which, if you know me, I do a lot more colour by numbers when I'm not feeling inspired to colour. And I've got a lot of whips on the go, a lot of pages where I've just done a little bit, and then I've got bored and abandoned it. But I felt yesterday and today the mojo's coming back. I started my first page in April's Forest Girl, and that kind of reignited my colouring mood. So glad to have another burst of energy before the end of the month. Not sure if I will get all of my buddies done. I'm going to try my absolute best. There may be some that go over into October. I also haven't been in the filming mood either, so I did film a video today. Finally filmed the how successful was my summer randomizer video. I'm hoping to get that edited and uploaded tomorrow for you. Didn't quite have enough time today to edit, upload, get ready for the stream and whatnot. So I thought I'll do it for tomorrow. And I feel like that's a better spacing out to have it uploaded tomorrow rather than today where you've got the stream as well. Your Amanda's colouring in Gail Lottier's book, feeling like working on the autumnal pages. Oh, I love that book. I've got the first pumpkin double page spread I'm doing as a buddy colour over the next couple of months. So looking forward to that one. But yeah, it's a gorgeous, the autumn pages are what made me buy that book. It's absolutely gorgeous. As a newbie to the group, would love to be able to share my channel to make colouring friends. Have a go at trying to share your link. I'm not sure if it will, but I can share it for you if you DM me the link. If it doesn't, if you post it in chat and I don't say anything, I don't say there's the link, because sometimes it just, I don't know what settings I have set up for the channel, because I know maybe it's sometimes only the person and the admin can share, but more than happy to share others' channels. It's always fun finding new people. But I'm sure if everyone, I think you can tap on someone's icon and yeah, if you tap on someone's icon in the chat, you should be able to go directly to the channel, I think. Or try searching at Art Junkie colours. I'm feeling like everything I touch gets messed up these past couple of weeks. Kimberlyn, when I'm in the sort of colouring slump that I have been, I find that if I'm not feeling inspired, just put the page away, move on to something else, because there's nothing worse than not feeling in the mood, forcing yourself to colour a page you're not feeling inspired by, and then regretting the choices you've made because you're not in the best colouring mood. So I just go, okay, the other day, I'll show you what I did. The other day I opened a body colour and I've got such a big stack of whips at the moment. It's in Forest Song, and all I did was colour some acorns and that was it. But that's what I felt inspired by, and I didn't have the energy to pick out different other colours, so I just left it at that and did a colour by number instead. I often find that kind of kickstarts my colouring mojo again, almost. Lucy's still on my page of leaves and it's dragging. I find sometimes pages of leaves can be really fun and other times they're not. Like I did a load of leaves for the koala page in Fragile World and I absolutely loved colouring those. But I've done other pages of leaves where it's, oh, such a drag. I think it depends on the shape of leaves and how different they are. Sometimes I get into that colouring zen, other times I don't. With the leaves, that is. Hi Kate, welcome in, and welcome Dawn. Lovely to have you join us. I've been on a bit of a slump too, maybe we can help each other on Sunday. Yes, Zoe, I would love to bring a bunch of whips. It's nice because it's not quite the end of the month, but it's close to the end of the month, that it feels like you can get a bunch of pages that we plan to do for this month that haven't quite finished. I can bring my Moko page and we can colour that together if you like. I don't know if you've finished yours, but it'd be good to have someone in person to get advice on colours. Only admin can share, so I'll grab it for you. Perfect, Zoe's on it. Oh, there we go. We've got the link in chat for Art Junkie's channel. Hi Lisa, listening in while colouring myself. Hope you're having a nice evening or day. That's a good point. Everyone let me know if you are colouring and what you are colouring. I always love to hear. Now it just says report and block. I think it's if someone comments on a YouTube video, then you can go to their channel. Although sometimes it doesn't work. Last night I coloured a fork, a spoon and 2 blueberries, and that's a fork and a spoon and 2 blueberries more than you'd coloured before that day, so it's an accomplishment. Me too, I messed up up front. I need better fine liners that don't smear. Yeah, often you can get frustrated with supplies, and I find I'm impatient and I get like pen on the back of my hand and I transfer it across the page and I'm like, no. Some leaves are way harder than others to colour. I'm glad I'm not. Also, welcome Holly. I don't think I said, yep, there you are. Hi all. Welcome to stream. Thanks for joining. Kimberlyn finds realistic leaves easier than cartoony leaves. Interesting. Yeah, maybe I do as well, because I really enjoy colouring Kirby leaves, and I think it's because he's got like the detailing and like the veining in the leaves. So you have like a guide of how to shade it, and it means that you don't have to put so much effort into the pencil shading because half of it's there for you already. Ivy's colouring Kirby's Kaleidomorphia. Nice. Want to see my fork, spoon and blueberries? Art tax? Go ahead, Zoe. If anyone ever wants to send me something, just send it on my Instagram DMs and let me know in chat and I can bring it up for everyone to see. I always love seeing people's work. Sure, I've not got much left to do on that page. Nice, Zoe. So we can colour that together. Be one of the pages I bring. Holly's the opposite. You prefer your cartoony leaves than realistic ones. Fair enough. They are leaves from Secret Gardens, so small. Only get 10 minutes here and there realistically at the moment. That's fair enough, Lucy. And yeah, Secret Garden it's got a lot of leaves. A lot of leaves. I'm busy with my companion page in Lulu's Million Little Monsters. Nice. Nice, Leandri. Sarah's finishing up your Sentient Beings art page. Lovely. Hi, Kate. I don't know if I said hi, Kate, but hi, Kate, if I didn't. Thank you. Thanks for joining. I think it's because I have leaf swatches. I read that as sandwiches. I was like, you're eating leaf sandwiches? Are you okay, Kimberlyn? I have leaf swatches that I can refer to when the leaf is realistic. When the leaf is cartoonish, I'm like, what the heck is that? But you can just use the same colours for the cartoony ones and that still works. Pencils put back, desk cleaned off, and now looking for a page in City Among the Stars for Space Timber. Ooh, that's a good pick. I was looking at that book the other day and going, do I buy it off Vinted? I was having a bit of a vintage scroll the other day. I got a great deal. Ooh, let me show you my deal. I got the 36 set of Ohuhu skin tone markers, and this was £20 on Vinted, and I was like absolutely snatching that up. They said they'd only used it a couple of times, and it's got a lot of really nice neutral tone browns, which I have been missing in my alcohol markers because the one that I had been using has been out of ink for a while, so I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one. Y145, YR148, and YR9 looks really good as well. And there's, I think it was 14 are ones I already had, and then it was the rest. I think 22 was it? Yeah, that makes 36. 22 new colours, so that was good for £20. A nice bargain I found. Happy with that. And I've also got a Camilla de Erico pop manga book on the way that should be coming tomorrow. And I tried putting a offer in for Hannah Carlson's party and they wouldn't accept my lower offers, so I'm going to find that elsewhere. Art accent. Ooh, hazelnuts, haha. Oh, skin tones. Yes, hazelnuts, which is... I don't really pay attention to the names because the one that I have isn't... Yeah, hazelnuts. Oh, that is a good one, yeah. A good kind of mid-tone neutral brown. That's a good one. Yeah, some good ones. Good ones. I find I always need browns in pages. Almost every page has some kind of brown on it. Alright, let me go onto Instagram. And I will... Oh, I've got 3 people who have sent me stuff. Oh. Come on, Instagram. It's being slow. Right, let's just make sure this is sharing on the right one. Inbox, there we go. So here we have Zoe's lovely fork. That's a very good looking fork, Zoe. Very realistic and shiny looking. And oh, I thought I could just. And then here is the spoon and 2 blueberries. Very nice looking blueberries as well there. Love that. And then we have Yana has sent me one. Ooh, and this is from a Rita Berman book. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Is that the autumn book, probably? One of the season specific ones, I know. With the black water, really cool. I love your sunset background. And your fun coloured hot air balloons, so fun. You're trying to make them look realistic. Well, you've definitely accomplished that, Zoe. Looks amazing. Oh, this is from Summer Spaziergang. I don't have the individual seasons book, so I'm not familiar with what comes in which one. So yeah, that one's lovely. And then I will get up oh, here is Lisa at My Colouring Nook. Her Wally page. Look how fun that is. I love the background. What mediums did you use for that? Is it paint pens? I see some paint pens back here. But Wally and Eve look super bold and vibrant and against the nice watercolory effect in the night sky. It looks lovely. Really, really pretty. So thanks for sharing with us. I see some more people have popped in to chat. I will make sure to say hi to people. Oh, we've got the... Right, what have I missed out? I liked Camilla de Erico's work, but I haven't coloured any of it yet. I'm now obsessed. I got Flights of Fancy, and now I want them all. So I've got Cute and Creepy on the way, and Catitude is also on the way, I think. I've ordered that, or I'm about to order it. Hello, the Kabak, new live watcher. Thanks for joining. Hi, Joe at Piggy Pens. Hiya, I'm listening whilst colouring the Pinocchio page in Dark Fairy Tales. Awesome. I love Hazelnuts too and Thin Persimmon. Nice. That fork is insane. Yeah, awesome. Hi Vera, welcome in. Lovely to have you join us. I just watched your update video. Got some really fun plans for your channel there. Catitude is hilarious, yeah. The Wally page was done by Lisa at My Colouring Nook. And then we got Amanda's Colouring Joy on YouTube. Right. If anyone else sends anything, make sure to say in chat and I will check it out. Oh, try and get my pencil the right way around. Hi Sam, welcome in. Lovely to have you join us. The background is neon colour too, but the paper is not ideal for that medium at all, but want to try them on better paper now. Yeah, the neon colour 2s, I'm really loving them. I've used them in Kirby's books so far and they work really, really amazing in those, in Kirby's paper. This paper is very well suited for water mediums, the Lomart Publishing. Right, have a quick drink. Whoa, well, my voice just escaped me then. What are people's favourites for backgrounds? I have just got the Neocolour 2s and I think that's going to be a new favourite for backgrounds for me. I've used Inktense in the past, but find you have to work a little bit more at them to get rid of that like pencil line texture, this kind of streakiness of it. The new colours seem to be me. I often will use just a straight alcohol marker if it's a single-sided book like this, or occasionally I'll use soft pastels, but I find them annoying to work with. I just don't use them all that often. I am not a big fan of doing big pencil backgrounds. I did one recently in Die Welt unter der Lupe Zélande and hated every second of it, but I love the result. But I did not enjoy doing it, not at all. That was following a tutorial by Karen at My Colourful Country Life, who is kind of the queen of pencil backgrounds. I've been rewatching her completed Mythic World book video. The amount of pages she did in there, which was just full pencil, is impressive. Like, the patience for that is just wow. Zoe, my favourite is avoiding backgrounds. I don't think necessarily it's avoiding, it's embracing the white of the page. Sometimes a white paper background looks lovely. Not every page needs an elaborate background. The white makes it pop nicely. Something like this where it's got a frame, I feel like this needs a background, but around the edge of the page it doesn't. I use Neocolor 2s or pencil. I said I didn't need Neocolor 2s, but my hubby misunderstood and bought them for me. I love them now. Well, that's a happy little accident there. Love that, Ivy. Sarah likes the Tim Holtz woodless watercolour pencils. Nice. I've heard great things about the Tim Holtz watercolour sticks. At the moment I like using acrylic paint pencil backgrounds because they go down so quick, but it really depends on the book and paper. True. Obviously you can't use, or you can, but I wouldn't use alcohol markers in a double-sided book, but in a single-sided book, absolutely fine. Hi Chrissy, I can't remember if I said hi, but hi again if I did, and hi if I did not. Pan pastels / soft pastels is probably my preferred. Watercolours if there isn't too much space. I have a hard time seeing the paper crinkle and buckle. It hurts my soul. I don't mind that. I love hearing the paper crinkle. Ooh, love that crinkle sound. I was going through some completed pages earlier and I was like, water mediums work well in here and you can't even hear a crinkle, which I was kind of sad about. I like having that little crinkle. Sometimes husbands get it right, even if they get it wrong. Love that. Lisa really likes watercolours. And thanks for the kind words, everyone. You're welcome, Lisa. Yana uses soft pastels, oil pastels, Neocolor 2s and pencils. Depends on the effect I want to achieve. What's a good soft pastel brand? I'm looking to try that. The one I use, I will show you, is the Ohuhu 72 soft pastel set. I can show you the range of colours, and I do have a review of this. Do I have a review? Yeah, I do. I was like, did I upload it? I think I did. Review of this on the channel. It's got a nice colour range, some nice light colours, dark colours. I don't know why. I just find them annoying because I want to fix them so they don't transfer, and that's just like an extra step to the colouring that I don't like doing. But it's great at giving that kind of soft look to a page. However, I will never do a Holbein pencil background with again. Wears them down. Yeah. I was curious as to how Karen at My Colourful Country Life did this page. She's got a coloured copy. Is it in this book or is it in the other book? It's in my other book. It's in the 10-year celebration book. I was curious as to how she did this background, and it was all pencil, and I was just like, no. So much to cover with just pencil. And just think about how much it would wear down your Prismas as well. and how much it would hurt your hand to get that kind of burnished look. No, not for me. I don't know how I would try and do this if I were to recreate it, or what I would use for the background. Probably Neocolor 2s. In fact, she'd probably use Neocolor 2s again if she did that. Yeah. It's a great page though. Kira uses these and they look amazing. Oh, what's that? Let me check the link. They are... Oh, the Mungio soft pastels. Oh my gosh, £132? No. Sorry, I just... that hurt my soul a little bit because I don't know about you guys, but I'd associate soft pastel as like a cheap, easy, quick background, not £132 for 68 pastels. I think mine was like 20 or 30 quid for the Ohuhu 72 set. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the quality's lovely, but no thank you, not for soft pastels. Joe likes the Montmartre soft pastels. You love Ohuhu, I trust them. Yeah, they've done perfectly for me so far. A good sort of pigment and layer of colour down on the page. Switching to my husband's account, BRB. How could she get the black that dark? Yeah, I just think how much her hand must have hurt after doing that background. I'd want to give up. I'd just be like, F it, I'm using black acrylic paint. I don't want this. I don't want it anymore. Oh, I have to go. I have to get up at 6 tomorrow. Time to put the screens away. See you next time. Have a good evening, Amanda. Have a good sleep. What do you use to fix them? I use this, the Pastel Fixative by Frisk. This is the only one I've ever bought, and it does well. Does take a couple of coats sometimes, but I feel like there's a quarter of the can still left, and I've had that for 3 years, but that kind of shows you how little I use it. I use the Krylon Fixative for most things. You just use generic hairspray. It's never hurt any of my pages yet. Or I would worry about using hairspray because I know that some hairsprays can yellow. I'd be too afraid of using hairspray on my pages. They're on your to buy list. No wonder Kira's work better than mine, lol, with the soft pastels. Yeah, it's ooh. I've heard that hairspray turns yellow after a while. Never tried myself though. Have you found that, Zoe? Yeah, that's what I've heard too, and I'd be afraid that I'd buy the brand that does that, and I didn't want to risk it. Yeah, just thought the same. Hi Brittany, and hello Amanda. You started buying higher quality goodies lately and have found colouring to be easier, more enjoyable, and I feel like I'm getting better results. That's fair enough, but I feel like with soft pastels, how amazing can a soft pastel be? Kind of thing. How can it really be £132 good? I don't know. We recently got some pan pastels and they're awesome. It's another thing where I'm like, they're expensive. I don't want to spend that much on a supply that I know I won't reach for that often. If it's something I will use and I will appreciate, then I don't mind spending a bit of money on supplies. But I know I just don't reach for my pastels, so I doubt I'd use the pan pastels much either. I'm just scared of Fixative. I used it on a page in Midnight Masquerade, and I obviously sprayed too much because it went through the other page. Yeah, I found that, Leandri. You've got to be careful. You've got to go far away. I think it recommends 30 centimetres, which is like the length of a ruler. You've got to go far away and really make sure you're moving it over. Make sure it's dry before doing another layer, because you can get a bit of seepage through. But usually it's only a tiny amount that can be easily covered up with coloured pencil or something. Also, I have you on my TV. Hello on the big screen. You don't recommend using hairspray because it will eventually turn yellow. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of too. It hasn't yellowed yet, and you've used it for years. Fair enough, Zoe. You use what works. And if you find something cheap that works, you go ahead, keep using it. Couldn't get the Krylon, so I used the Winsor & Newton spray. Fair enough. Now, I think I just looked at pastel workable. You want to make sure you get workable fixative, because then you can spray it. If you do the background first, you can spray it, or if you do it last, you can spray it, and you can still do pencil colouring over the top. So make sure it's workable. That's my recommendation for fixatives. Still trying to figure them out, but they're fun. I've been using a very cheap brand of chalk pastels. Yeah, I was using the Hobbycraft one originally, and they were so weak in their colour compared to the Ohuhus. They're much more vibrant. I love them. BRB, need to switch out laundry. It's been a laundry day today. Ugh, hate doing laundry. Good for you, Yana. And it has the 90 set of Rembrandt soft pastels, and they are beautifully amazing, but you don't need them that good for coloured books. Yeah, I agree. Oh, you sent me a progress pic. I'll definitely try the fixative again. Thanks for the tips. Let's grab this up and go. Oh, it's in my requests. I got requests from Nikki. I haven't got yours, Leandre. I was going to say, I thought I'd chatted with you before. Or are you talking to someone else? Yeah, I can't see it, Leandre. I can't see your progress pic. It's not come through. I'll try refreshing. Fixative I use doesn't even fix the pastels, lol. I find it... Oh, I've got it now, Leandre. I think. Or I got your testing. I see testing. It's try sending the picture again, sending it through the gallery rather than taking the picture on Instagram. I know other people have this issue, Leandre, where if you send a picture using the Instagram camera, it won't show up on computers, but it will on phones. But if you save the photo and then send it through your gallery, then it will pop up. Try that. There we go, I can see it now. It looks lovely. Again on the browser and show you everyone Leandre's page here. I love the nice cool tones and how it will contrast nicely with the warm tones on the opposite page you got there. I can see peeking through. Amanda, I find I have to do several coats of the fixative, like sometimes 3 or 4, for it to actually stay. So that would be my advice. Oil pastels are the worst, but I want to be coloured by Maya, but I just end up with sore finger ends. Yeah, I have a bit of a traumatic history with oil pastels and I don't like it. I don't like it. Too messy for my liking, the idea of them. Ashley is here, but lurking because she's working, doing the lurky worky. I think it's either Winsor & Newton or Daily Brownie is the only brown available in my colour Hobbycraft, and it just doesn't do anything after 4 coats. Oh, that's odd. But you try another coat. Yeah, it depends on the colour as well, I find. If it's a nice light colour, then it will stay, but if it's a darker one, it takes longer to fix. I know I had one page that I did with a lot of dark colours that took forever to fix. Oh, do. What? I lost my chat. There are brushes that you can use to blend oil pastels instead of using your fingers to blend them. That would make the oil pastels easier to work with. Yeah, Brittany, I saw... Who was it? Shell. At Shell's Colouring Journey, she uses oil pastels that way, puts it on a palette and takes it off and blends it in that way. It does seem to be an effective way of having a nice kind of soft look to the pastels. Yeah, I never tried it. I'm happy with the mediums I have. I don't need to bring another one in. And it's another, and the fact that I don't use my soft pastels that often, oil pastels would be even worse in terms of mess and fixing it and whatnot. So yeah. Oh, it's the lightest blue, like sky blue. Wow, that's annoying then if your fixative isn't working. But yeah, I just end up spraying and spraying and spraying until it doesn't come off on my finger, and I'm like, okay, that'll do. Okay, I'm practicing with alcohol markers in big spaces and getting a little overlap. Is the trick to keep the wet edge small. I will give a little demo of the trick that I use. Let me pick a colour of alcohol marker that I never use, which dark brown. Got some scrap paper here. It's my Neocolor 2 swatch and like the shipping information. So say your page is like this and you've got, I don't know, something going across like this, like a weird path. And oh, that's a bad example. That's a bad example. I'm trying to think of an example. Page, circle in the middle, something wavy in the middle. There we go. So I'm going to try and colour this circle in with an alcohol marker. So the key is, if you start here and you're going round, keep coming back to this wet edge. Do little bits at a time, keep coming back to it, and then it avoids the lines. And the quicker you come back to it, the less likely you are to get streaks and lines with it. And if you find that you have slightly lighter patches, when you go over it wet, it does kind of dry down pretty quickly. But that's my tip on how to colour with alcohol markers to reduce streaks. Obviously, if it's a much larger section, that was a very tiny section, so easy to not get streaks. But I feel like you need to see it being used to kind of understand it. Yeah, you got to work fast and keep the edge wet. So keep going back and forth between two bits, and that should work nicely. Oh, look at them, Brittany. I just want to be all arty-farty with my fingers. Fair enough, Joe. Just a little dab here, dab there. Well, Jess is never going to get this page coloured. I will get there. Still plenty of time. I find the first hour usually is the slowest progress, and then the next hour goes much quicker. Right, I've done all the leaves. I think I will do these brown mushrooms next. So for that, I have burnt umber and burnt ochre. Burnt ochre, and then this is burnt umber, I think. Or is it walnut brown? Yeah, this one's burnt umber. It's a little nubby. It's on its last legs. But still, oh, I don't know if you even saw that. It was zoomed in. Little nubby. Still getting it used. The colourist person who said everything they're trying to colour is turning to garbage. I'm in that situation. I've just taken out the Christmas colour by number picture I was working on. Oh no, Arabia. Just take your time with it. If you're struggling with something, just put it away for a while, then come back. And it should make it easier. I watched Yolanda, I think, do a dragon from Kamina in Jakova, and she was using the bullet tip and only working in a small space at a time. Yeah, working in, I think going from like the smaller to the larger sections is sometimes easier as well, in a way. Yeah, it's the key is keeping whatever bit of alcohol marker you're working on wet, kind of thing. My son just asked me if we're not watching the stream. I told him we're almost 40 people all talking at the same time. Imagine if we all had mics and live actually worked like that. Yeah, that would be crazy, Leandre. And I always think about people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers or even millions doing live streams, and they just have the chat and it's constantly going pop, 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 pop with all the messages. I'm like, how? I mean, there's like no interaction there. for me, almost defeats the point of a live stream, because the live stream is to have that interaction, to be able to ask questions and answer them, chatting with people in the stream as well. It's popping by so quickly. And read it. How do they read it? I don't know. How do they pick out which comments to read and which ones they don't? Yeah, must be tricky. I'm glad I am a small creator in the grand scheme of things, and I don't have to worry about insane chats popping off. Lucy is back. I want to colour, but I'm pretending to sleep so the baby will. Anytime we move, he wakes up. Oh no, Amanda. Hopefully you'll trick him soon. Where can I get the Pentel hybrid dual metallic gel pens from? I've received the gold and silver and they are absolutely gorgeous. I need the whole set. Ooh, I will get you a link, because I did buy some fairly recently off of Amazon, and I will go back in my old orders. The most people I had in the stream once was 100 and I hated it. Yeah, that's overwhelming. That is overwhelming. Oh dear, I remember those days all. What's up with the squirrel's eye? Lol. Yeah, he looks a bit derpy. I kind of coloured in this pupil off camera, and it looks like he's looking like his eyes are rolling back into his face. Maybe I'll like make the pupil a bit bigger so he looks a little less derpy. Here we go. Pentel hybrid dual metallic jelly roll. Blah 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 blah. Found it. I will share the link. This will be for Amazon UK, but it'll be good to have for anyone who wants it. Yeah, I really do. The gold and silver I find are the glitteriest. Oh, the link's way too long. I can't do it. I can't put it in chat. The link's too long. Let me see if I try doing share and then putting it in. Where's the share option here? Here. Copy link. There we go. Shorter link. There we go. That is for the Pentel dual hybrid metallic gel pens, the full set that I got. I don't know if it is the full set. I think there are more colours. This is the 8 colours that I got a few months back. Squirrely is high as a kite. The big channels usually have another person tracking the chat, reading out loud. Yeah, I could not do this without someone else if it got many more people in, because I do like to read almost everyone's comments relating to the chat. I don't read out all the highs and hellos because that would get a bit redundant pretty quickly. I was looking at getting some distress oxide inks, but would have liked to have gone to a physical shop. Does Hobbycraft UK stock them? I've never seen them. No, I've never seen them in there. I think it would have to be on an online seller to get the distress inks. I don't know, maybe you could find it like a special craft fair, because I know lots of crafters and sort of card makers use inks, but I've never seen them in a proper shop, like a brick and mortar store before. Pages look so nice, thank you, Millie. That's how I feel, Sarah Renee Clark. So fast and side conversations happen, making it confusing. Yeah. And it's hard to distinguish. I feel like for anyone to get noticed, you'd have to put your question in multiple times and almost spam it for them to be able to even notice it, because it just is popping by so quick. I've only seen 8. There are only 8 colours total for the Pentel Dual Hybrid Metallic Gel Pens. I have seen more, I think, open stock on Cult Pens or Budley Crafts or some online shop that I'd been browsing recently. I saw that they had more than those 8 colours. I can't tell you what shop it was, but it was something. Somewhere where you could get them individually. They were expensive on Amazon, Jess. They were £12. I mean, not too crazy, just over £1 a pen. I found some Distress inks on Vinted for cheap, labelled new. I was tempted to get them, but have too many supplies. Maybe try that. Ooh, that's a good idea. Distress inks have, ever since I first started colouring, have been something that I love the look of, but I'm too scared to get, that it would be a long learning curve and things would look patchy and it would really frustrate me, even though I know it's part of your journey and your experience. Like, okay, here's an old one and here's a new one, but yeah. I'm obsessed with Vinted right now, so many colour books. Yeah, Amanda, I am too. I bought some Ohuhu markers, I bought a book. I like putting in cheeky offers, except people don't know how to haggle. They just reject you. Right, I'm going to do the mushroom stalks now, which is burnt ochre and ivory. I'm going to do a very, very light layer of the burnt ochre because I don't want it to be too brown looking, just for the shadows here. I went into a store yesterday for a drink and left with a colouring book as well. Love that, Anastasia. I've seen Distress Oxides Inexpensive on Etsy a few times. Interesting, Ivy. Vinted is great. I recommend looking for Ohuhu alcohol markers on there because you can find some good bargains of people who bought a whole set, used them once and thought, nope, not for me. And I mean, when they're selling the big sets, it's still quite expensive, but cheaper than it would be to buy them new, obviously. You got a pumpkin spice cafe book the other day, nice. And Anastasia got the pumpkin spice latte book, and the artist is on the back of the book. It's only $20. I think I saw that, the pumpkin spice latte book, on whose channel was it? Told You What Colours? I was just watching her haul. At least, I think she said something like that. I wasn't fully watching it, I was listening to it as I was colouring. I hate dealing with the drawing gun while doing Distress inks. Yeah, that's the other problem I would have with it, of wanting to get right up to the edge of the artwork, and then it's like, oh, getting drawing gum and then worrying about ruining my page with that. And yeah, it's kind of like, I'm just a bit scared to try them because I love the kind of smooth sort of blend of colours you get with them. They look amazing, but I'm just scared. And at the moment I'm okay with the background supplies I have. Often if a background is too complicated for me, I just go, nope, I'll leave it white. And by complicated I mean too many intricate details to go in between. Oh wow, that's crazy. No shops have Distress inks. I don't think so in the UK. I've never seen them. Never seen them in person, to be honest. You just scored Anna Jaren's Astrology on Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace, brand new for $7. That is great. It's a great find. When I first started colouring, I got both Enchanted Forest and Secret Garden on Facebook Marketplace for £5. And I didn't really want Secret Garden, in fact, I've destashed Secret Garden, but I was happy to get them both for £5. I was like, that's a great deal. Yeah, for books it's great. There's a lot of the Amazon printed books on Vinted at the moment. I think it's for people who got into that cute and cozy craze and then decided, okay, that's not for me. So there's lots of those, like the Coco Wise and Jade Summer ones, because they can be a bit expensive on Amazon now. They can be like £10-ish. whereas you can get them for 5 or 6 on Vinted secondhand. That's all of them. I watched Told You Woods video tonight. Fantastic Worlds keeps striking my fancy. Oh, the one by Alessandra Fusi. Yeah, I love that book. The distress oxides blend more smoothly than the regular distress inks. I've heard that too. I heard someone, I don't know whose video it was, but I remember watching them and they said that they bought the distress inks, really struggled with blending them, then bought the distress oxides and found it much easier. Sent a do I dare message. You know what, Yana? The worst they can say is no, isn't it? That's what I always think. I'm like, oh, let's be cheeky. Let's be real cheeky. The worst they can say is no. Forgot about Facebook Marketplace. You can find occasionally, I find it's harder to find lots of things on there, but you can find some good bargains. I've never really understood what distress inks are. It looks almost like soft pastels to me. They are ink pads that come on a pad, and you often apply it with a brush, like a fine bristled brush, one where like the bristles are really compact together, and you kind of smooth them onto the page. Yeah, kind of like soft pastels, but it gives a really like vivid, intense look, and there's some really interesting, unique colours with them. You found the Flower Year Immaculate for £8 on eBay. That was a great find. I got Floribunda Year for £4 on Vinted. In fact, that was thanks to Zoe, who influenced me to buy that. She was like, oh look, this is for £4, and I was like, yep, I'm buying that. That's mine now, because I had my eye on it, and £4 you couldn't say no. Amanda found a few Kirby's, Lulu Mayo, Lizzie Mary Cullen and Rita Berman all on Vinted last week. Yeah, I found there's lots of Camilla de Erico, lots of Kirby, lots of people destash Kirby, and Johanna Basford. Like basically the big names, a lot of people destash. A lot of the Amazon printed, like cute and cozy books. Quite a few Hannah Carlsons on there as well. A whole range. Like if you just search the artist you're interested in, or like the specific book, you can find loads on there. It's great. Yes, that one, nearly all double page spreads. Yeah, I do love that book. I do have it here, and it is stunning. All double page spreads. I'm really zoomed in, but I think this would look amazing with watercolours and water-based mediums. Oh, excuse me, I had a little hiccup then. And the paper seems to be of good quality as well. It's by Dover Publishing Company. So I don't know how they do with water mediums, but be good. Or I think even ink tents, you can do ink tents activated with alcohol marker if it isn't good with water-based mediums, then you can still have that kind of watercolory effect. But using the alcohol marker colourless blender, it doesn't bleed through if water does. You love your distress inks. Anastasia started her first double page spread. I'm not a fan of them so far. I do love a double page spread and seeing it completed. It is a very satisfying achievement, but they are definitely intimidating. Oh, don't skip Marketplace. I got some of my Maria Troll and Hannah Carlson from there. Lovely. I never think to look on Vinted. I only look there for out of print books, but I bet I'm missing a lot of bargains on all books. Oh, another thing you can find a lot of on Vinted is Colouring Heavens. I've got my eye. I'm on a bit of a hunt at the moment for Colouring Heaven Fledgling Fairies. It's an old edition and it's by Christine Karen. I really want it. And I can't find it anywhere, not even for like hella expensive on eBay. But yeah, Vinted is a really good secondhand book place. Yeah, Vinted has almost everything on it nowadays. Another website I like to look at for secondhand books is World of Books. That's in the UK. They do lots of good deals. They often sell via Amazon, so you can look at the new and used deals. And if it ever has any colouring in it, you can just reach out to them and they're really good at giving you refunds or a replacement. So World of Books is a good one as well. What's your holy grail book that no one has for sale? Mine are Character by Hannah Carson and Wildscapes by Stephanie Holm. Yeah, Fledgling Fairies Colouring Heaven is one that I've got my eye out on finding. I'm trying to think of any others, because a lot of the books that people love and are hard to find, I'm not that interested in. Like the Mouse Guard books, they don't appeal to me. Mouse Guard books. The Mouse Guard book, there's one. Hi, Danny Designs, welcome in. Thanks for joining, and welcome Colourful Planner Mother of 3 from Sweden. Welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another book that I don't have. Oh, for me, Tomislav Tomic. It took me a long while to get into his art style and well, I always appreciated his art style, but like his art style and want his art style, and then when I did, it was too late. It seemed to be out of print for quite a while now, but I'd love to get my hands on a Tomislav Tomic book. And the other one, it's a Korean book that's out of print, and it's called The Day We Finally Meet, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Shell's featured it on her channel. She's coloured in it a couple of times. I think it's got like a purple cover with like a family of squirrels on the front. Oh, it looks so cute, but it's not available anywhere, or if it is, it's crazy expensive, and I'm one who refuses to spend more than about £17 on a book. No, I can't. Although I'm thinking of it with Karolina Kubikowska. I'm thinking of getting my first one of hers soon. Just check my marketplace and there's nothing decent on there. I find Vinted is more reliable of finding actually like decent colouring books on there. Searching all the different artists. I found loads the other day when I was browsing. Absolutely loads. But it's always annoying when you find a great deal and you're like, oh, I've already got that book. Let's try this again. Got kicked off. Oh, don't know why you got kicked off, Danny, but welcome. Oh, I'm missing some books. Not some books, some comments. In the US, my Ollies have 3 different Kirby books for $3.99 each. Ooh, that's nice. That's a great deal. Oh, the US it's annoying. There's no real good place in the UK to get books in person for cheap. They're all just RRP price. You can't really find many places in the UK to get colouring books, period. We have The Works, which sometimes has colouring books, but usually they're naff ones. And then WH Smith, but you'll find them for much cheaper on Amazon. So I do like to go in WH Smith and just browse. It's always fun too. But yeah, jealous of being able to go into a bookstore and browse some books. Art supplies can be great to get on Vinted too. Yes, especially alcohol markers, I found. Have a look on Facebook after I get my arm back. Fair enough. Sort of on the fence for Maria's Christmas book. I have so many Christmas ones. Yana, I've decided to leave it for this year. I may be swayed next year when we have the English edition, but for now, it's very simplistic. And I don't know if I want to spend that money for getting it into the UK from iMusic. I do want to get a season's book though, so I'm getting that. And at the same time, I think I'm going to get the Cozy Winter Bliss by Emily Liederhall Oberg. It's her kind of take on the cute and cozy, and it looks so adorable. Her little mouse characters. Love it. Said hi to Baldani. A travel series by Lizzie Mary Cullen. I had them before, destashed them and want them again, and they are discontinued. Was also Love Mouse Guard again. Yeah, Lizzie Mary Cullen has never been an artist that's appealed to me at all. But yeah, that's fine. I'm fine having those artists that aren't for your style, and that's absolutely good. Not every artist can be for everyone. Arabia, I'm missing you responding to my comments because I keep vanishing. Oh, why do you keep vanishing? I've got you. I see comments from you and it says message retracted as if you've deleted it. But sorry I'm missing your comments. Feel free to comment them again. I don't mean to miss people's comments. Sometimes I'm just bad at reading. Or I get excited by a comment and I read that before another one. Look on Etsy for the day we finally meet. Yeah, I almost refuse to go for Etsy prices. I don't think it is on there actually. I think I have checked before. Or either it's crazy expensive, like more than Etsy usually is. Yeah. All the Bennett Klein books too. Had all of those, but people are trying to sell them for 150 plus. Oh, it's when people try and sell Colouring Heavens for like £80 and you're just like, I know it's out of print, but that's insane. For an £8 magazine, or probably at the time it was like £6. Ridiculous. Amanda's attempting transfer of the baby. Good luck. For those in the US, Book Outlet is pretty great. Some people can find books at Ollie's for cheap, but I never can. Beldani, his name is Sue. Good to know, Sue. I will try my best to remember that. The works have some good books sometimes, but some of them are literally rubbish. Yeah, you can sometimes... You used to be able to find Lulu Mayos in there, and you used to be able to find Kirby's for £5. But I found recently, over the last couple of years, you don't really find any. They sell Stratton Peterson's and like the Lomart like A4 books, which are great value. Those are usually £5 in there. But yeah, I find most of them are like Shutterstock books or AI books or like mass print. I obviously mass printed, but like really cheaply made books, like not designed by artists. Ollie sells a lot of the AI Shutterstock compilation books, so they're hit or miss. I need to get Hannah's Halloween book. I am picking mine up Sunday, can't wait. And then I can plan what I want to colour next month from it. I'm loving my WH Smith at the moment. It's went from 30% off to 50% off and 3 for 2 as it's closing down in November. I'm sure you're getting some great bargains from there, Amanda. Sad that it's closing, but good bargains. I loved it when Zoe and I in... Was it Torquay that we were at? Yeah, Torquay, and they have a WH Smith there where it's 50% off all the time. Oh, get some good bargains in there. But it didn't have really any colouring books. It had the like Coco Wyo books, but that was it. There was literally nothing. I did get a Winsor & Newton ink for like £2.50 or something, which was great. I know Lizzie is not for me, but I love her work. Fair enough, Amanda. The one book I want is the 31 miniature Countdown to Halloween book. That one does look adorable. I mean, I keep getting distracted. I mean, me too. Jess, you can ignore my comments anytime. I talk to myself a lot. Fair enough. I tried to be good and read them all. Johanna Basford is not for me, and I just don't know why it isn't. And that's fair enough, Anastasia. Like, we all have our own interests, we all have our own styles, and I think it would be overwhelming if we liked absolutely every artist out there. It would be way too many artists to be able to colour and show the love to. Your faves right now are Hidden Seasons and Hidden Oceans. Nice. No, Sue, we always get stuff last in South Africa. Importing it will be way too expensive. I bet. Leandri, I bet, yeah. I want that Fabiana Attanasio Alice in Wonderland. The cheapest I found is $85. I wish it could come back in print. I was quite happy with that because I really loved the look of her fairy tale story colouring books by Fabiana, and I thought, okay, let's get the Colouring Heaven edition, the Fairy Story Special, to see if I like it and if I enjoy colouring it. I coloured one page and I never felt drawn to go back to it again, so I destashed it, and I was glad I didn't take the time, energy, money away for finding the other books that were out of print, so that was a good one to test the waters with. I've had mishaps after mishaps in Johanna's book yesterday and today. Oh, I know, Rabia, you've had some rotten luck in your Johanna books. But you know what? You're learning. You're learning what mediums work, what mediums don't work, and even that is progress. I've had a lot of people had that with their books, lots of mishaps. But sometimes it's nice to have a book which is like your experiment book, where because you ruined a page, you can do whatever you want in it. I know lots of people do that, where they have a book where they've ruined something in, they've rebought it, and then used it as an experiment book to try all their new mediums and things like that in it. I'm going to London in a month. Where can I buy colouring books and pens and colour pencils and mediums and other stuff? I don't know in London. I never go to London. I can't necessarily recommend. I'm trying to think of just generic art shops that would be in London that I've been to in other places. Anyone from the UK, help me out. I can't think of any good art shops. I think you'd probably be best finding like little independent ones. Would be good. I have to go to eat before tonight. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for joining us. I'm still kicking myself for not paying the prices for Thomas Atomic books before they went out of print. Yeah, Millie, it's annoying. I wish the heart on my phone wasn't at the bottom left of chat. I'm not big on Johanna. Anastasia, I have most of her books but struggle colouring in them. I think a lot of people started out with Johanna books. I know I did. And then I've coloured a lot in it when I first started, and then I haven't been as drawn to it over the years as I've established my colouring book collection, and that's okay. Our tastes change as well. We're always evolving. The diversity in this hobby is amazing. Yeah, it's great. Like, you've got horror, you've got cute, you've got easy, you've got hard, you've got detailed, you've got realistic, cartoony, so many different styles. And every artist is really unique. I feel like that's often a comment when you're looking through someone's colouring book collection and you go like, oh, Hannah Carson's amazing, her art style's so unique, it's so typically Hannah. But you can say that about everyone. Johanna's style is really unique. Maria, Kirby, like, you can look at the line work and go, I know exactly who that is for almost all artists. Like, there's no one that really looks similar to each other, which is incredible and just shows how wonderful human-made art is. I don't like the idea of struggling in a book. Yeah, fair enough. That's Vibrant Wilds for me. I've not ruined anything, but it's great for play, and the paper quality in that is great for playing in as well, I'm imagining. That's a book that wasn't for me. I just wasn't blown away by the art style of it, for me personally. I found Black Widow's work amazing in Hannah Carson books. Yeah, I've used Black Widow's quite a few times in her books too. That's how I'm practicing with alcohol marks today. Ruined book. At least it was only a $6 book. That's the perfect place to practice. I don't really have any books like that. I just go with the flow. And majority of the time it works out. And if not, I turn the page and move on. You have finished 95% of the pages planned for September, but now I keep starting curvies, and I said I wouldn't do another curvy this month. Nothing wrong with that, Amanda. I look forward to seeing all of your Kirby completed pages. They're always so much fun to see. There's that huge graphic design centre that Colouring Kid has featured. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know what. But yeah, she's gone around places as well. I've had to bin small victories due to not being able to fix a page. And I started a double page spread in Rooms of Wonder. I tried a black background and ruined the page. Ooh. Cassart is the only one accessible to me in a 25-mile radius, lol. I think Hobbycraft is my local one. And Hobbycraft is more for art supplies, really. I'd say it's more for like paper crafting. Hobbycraft, I don't know. The like colouring pencil section is tiny. The only like open stock pencils they have are Polychromos, and they tend to be more expensive than what you can find them online. Don't mind me, just plugging in my laptop. We've glued the pages together, so it's colour by numbers for now until I'm ready to try again. Fair enough, Rabia. Take your time, don't worry. My throat's getting funny. The London Graphic Centre, Covent Garden, if it's still there. Thank you, Pippa. And welcome to chat. Thank you for joining. It's not for me, Jess. I was disappointed. It's like bits of everyone's favourites, but not as good. Oh, is that yeah, Vibrant Wilds. Yeah, when I saw the flip through, I thought this is very reminiscent of Johanna Basford, and I thought there was nothing really unique. It was just, okay, here's a page of mushrooms, here's a page of flowers, here's a portrait, here's another page of flowers, here's some butterfly. Like, there wasn't anything unique and exciting about it, especially for a quality, expensive book. I would want to have more quality images, for me personally anyway. Just to let you know, I'll be colouring the initial picture we picked for our buddy colour. Yes, I remember seeing your message. I think I replied to it, but I did see it, Rabia. I'm a fan of Sarah as a content creator, big fan. Did you see she's like created a new thing called dopamine colouring, and it looks really cool, where you have a page and you kind of just scribble on it and then pick out details, and it's like meant to be a really freeing way of colouring a page. I think it looks awesome. I really liked it. Right, I'm going to do these darker mushroom caps now. So that's walnut brown and caput mortuum. Jess, is the pink in the background and her dress an alcohol marker? Yes. This was all based with alcohol markers, as you can see. The pink of the dress was RV270 from the Ohuhu alcohol markers. They are listed in the description from the previous live. I'll add them after this one's finished. Cass Art is 25 miles away and Hobbycraft is 10. That's all I have art supplies wise. I don't even know where my closest Cass Art is. I think it's Bristol, which for me is about an hour away. Yeah, Vibrant Wilds. Fresh start to me. Fresh start tomorrow for me in terms of colouring, I hope. Yes, I hope so too, Rabia. She took it from TikTok, chaos colouring. Interesting. Oh, you got an answer to Castle Arts, and they said they are doing maintenance and will list the products again soon. But why not announce that to people? Amanda messaged me this morning saying, can you find Castle Arts products anywhere? Like on Amazon or their website? And I went and had a look and was like, no. I searched Castle Arts on Amazon and absolutely nothing came up. Not even just the listing to say that it was unavailable. So I checked the Harmonious pencils from my order history, and I could click on the link and it just said it was unavailable. And seems as though they're updating their listings. But as a company, why wouldn't you say, hold on, we are taking our listings down for a moment to do some maintenance. It will be back on this date, this time. Don't worry, we're still here, we still exist, rather than just disappearing off the face of the earth. Because if you went to their website, it would just link you straight back to Amazon. Weird. Yeah, it looks very cool, but my poor heart, I'll try it and I'll see if I freak out or not. Yeah, it does look cool, but I don't know if I'd do it. You watched that live, looks a cool way to approach colouring. Yeah, it was. I didn't watch the live, but I saw the short that she made. This is so pretty. Love your colour palette, thank you. The UK is pretty crap for art shops. America is way better. Yeah, if you want to see someone from the UK show what you can get from America, check out Polly. Polly puts the colour on. She did an American art supply and book haul, and wow, the amount of books she got for so cheap as well. I was just so jealous. Like Mythographics It's common for, I know, Americans to be able to get mythographics in shops. You can't find them in any shop here in the UK, to my knowledge. You can only get them online. And another one is Creative Havens. I know they're commonly found in art shops in America. Can't find them here, really. Got to get those online. Or even a lot of books. Like, you can't... They'll be released in America and you've got to wait another month for them to be released in the UK. Or in the case of Christine Caron's 2 newer books, several months. Like Wondrous Folk has just been published in the UK, and it's not even like it's a UK edition, and you can tell it because on the cover it still has colouring spelled OR rather than OUR. And it's like, what's the point of delaying the publication? Like, Little Folk isn't available until January. Why? When it's been out for months. That was one where it started in Australia, which, happy for them getting some books a bit earlier than anywhere else in the world. They deserve it, because I know Australia is bad for not getting books at the same time as anyone else, having delayed releases like the UK do. But yeah, it's a lot of books. And just to the fact that it just doesn't make sense why the release is so delayed when it's the same book. It's not a different translated copy, it's the same book. W.H. Smith had a mythographic. I was surprised. Oh, I did not know that. I've never seen a mythographic in the flesh. Or a mythogoria, for that matter. Any of those. You watched Polly's video already. It was great. Yeah, it was great. You buy mythographics at Walmart, lol? Yeah, no. Can't get anything anywhere. We get Colouring Heavens, our Walmart equivalent. Yeah, we get the Colouring Heavens in the magazine section of our supermarkets. Those are something that we can regularly find in the UK, as it is a UK published company. In fact, where they are based is in Bath, which isn't too far from me. It's my closest city, about half an hour away from where I live. Some Walmarts have Colouring Heaven, but not all. Mine doesn't, unfortunately. Halloween by Carlsen isn't available here, nor is it here. That's only available in the Swedish edition, which at least for that, it's a specific language edition, and we're waiting for the English edition to be released. So, but for the majority of colouring books that have delayed publishing times in the UK, it's not even like the English spelling edition. It's the same book, just delayed publishing. It's so frustrating. Like the Kawaii Halloween, Creepy Kawaii Halloween colouring book has been out for a couple of months in the US, and I think it's released tomorrow in the UK. I've just ordered mine, and it's not being delivered till the 1st of October. That's the other thing with Amazon pre-orders. Something will be available, say, the 18th of September, and you won't get it until the 28th of September. For no reason. Literally no reason. Like, why is it taking so long to be shipped? And it's not for the odd book here and there. It's kind of consistently on a lot of pre-ordered books. You can find Creative Havens in some grocery stores, like Walmart in their magazine racks. I was able to order Halloween just before the deadline to get the Swedish version. Oh, is it not available anymore? Yeah, interesting. Because I know Godule, they ran out of copies, didn't they, before the season. I managed to get Godule literally, I think they must have had like a very small second batch of copies that they released, because it was out of stock, and then the next, like a few days later, it came back in stock, but it was literally for only a few hours or something. So I was very lucky to snag it when I did. I'm okay with being able to buy the Swedish edition. I don't need a translation of a book that has images. Yeah, I don't get the point. Just make it available worldwide. Bring back Book Depository. Because I started colouring and it went away before I really got into buying lots of different books, especially lots of different international books. And I was very sad that I never got to use Book Depository. And I never was able to use Book Depository. I just missed it completely. The Enchanted Animals is looking cute, thank you. And thanks for watching my kitty heaven with 21 cats. I've always wanted to ask, how old are you, Jess? I am 26, born in 1999. Barely born in the 1900s. Just about. I say barely, I'm a February baby, so I was very firmly born in the 1900s, but just made it on the final year. There must be some crazy publishing rules to various countries and tariffs, maybe. Yeah, there must be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Hi, Girl on Fire. You wrote the Lisbon page a while ago. Lovely. I've still yet to start it, but I've got a colour palette in mind, so it should be fairly quick to colour because I've got the colours already selected for it. Right, that's that one done. Same thing about Amazon Japan books. Why can't we get those here? Yeah, and Korean ones. Just let me buy things. There may be distribution rules or requirements, probably. For 30, born in 95. Happy to be here. My name is Jessica, another fellow Jess in the chat. Lovely. Right, I'm going to do these leaves next, and that is burnt sienna and terracotta. You did the Portuguese flare colour palette for it. Yellow, green, red, and a little bit of blue. That's so fun. Love that. The weather is mental. It's winter at night and summer during the day. I find at the moment it's just kind of cold. For me, it's working though, because of my job being a carer. I move around quite a lot, or I'm going into a client's house where they've got the heating on and I'm moving around a lot, doing sort of physical exertion to help them. I get quite hot during my shift. So I have a jacket at the moment that I'm wearing and end up taking off, and then I go into a different client's house and they go, "Oh, you hot then? You haven't got your own short sleeves?" And it's like, well, it's not hot outside, it's not warm outside. Like, I'd be cold if I was sat in a wheelchair like what you are, sort of thing. But I'm moving around, so it keeps me hot. Going into people's houses with heating, that keeps me hot. Arabia's a February baby too, 17th. I am 4 days before you. The 13th of February. That took me a second to remember when my birthday was. Same, I work retail, and even during winter I'm in short sleeve because it's so hot in there. I hate it. Ugh. Good riddance summer. I have a chronic illness with a heat intolerance. Fair enough, Kimberlyn, and I'm sure it gets much hotter for you wherever you are in the US. Tends to anyway. Yeah, it seems like 1 minute we were in a heat wave and then suddenly the temperature just really dropped. But at the moment it's not too bad. It's still a point where you don't need to wear a coat out, sort of thing. And your woolly scarves. Not that cold yet. I just feel cold. I don't like the cold. Your brother's birthday is February 13th. Oh, birthday twin. It was -3. I had to scrape the car this morning. Then it was 16 and I was in a t-shirt. Oh my gosh, -3. Yee. I think it'll be a while till we hit frosty temperatures yet. Probably towards the end of October, I don't know. It's been very mild most days. We're in Michigan, but not as bad as other parts, but we had a really hot summer like you, but you have AC. Yeah, no AC here makes the summers harder to manage in our hot British houses. Yay, I have a coffee and I'm colouring finally. Lovely, Amanda. I committed to buddies for September in mid-August when it was still warm, and some were summary pages, and now I look at those pages and would rather chew my nipple without an anaesthetic. Well, that's quite the visual image there, Jo. But yeah, I'm often quite mindful when I was planning my buddies for September and August to make sure that majority of them were autumnal, because I knew that was kind of vibe I was wanting to go for at the moment. I had a couple which I could do at the start of the month, where I was still in the kind of summery vibe. It's kind of transitional pages. But yeah, now I'm in full autumn colour palette mode. I like the vibes of autumn, but I don't like actual autumn. I don't like the nights getting darker, or it getting darker quicker in the night. I don't like the cold. I'm definitely more of a spring summer person than an autumn winter. But I like the vibes. I like the colour palettes. I like the cosy jumpers. I just don't like the cold. You've been feeling so cold, had the heating on. We've had the heating on for a little bit at the moment. My idea of winter is from December to February, and then some of the rest of the months I hate all the layers and feel claustrophobic in heavy clothes. Yeah. Well, winter for me is also December to February. I love being able to just wear t-shirts in the summer. I love the freedom of that. But I also love my jumpers. I have a lot of friends who lamented the end of summer yesterday, and I was like, bye summer, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Fair enough. I know a lot of people hate summer and love autumn. I like the idea of it. I don't like it in practice. It makes me sad. By the way, Jess, do you use soft pastels? And if so, which ones do you recommend? I hate doing backgrounds, and I'm intimidated by Neocolours and water mediums. It looks so streaky, so looking for an alternative. We were actually talking about this at the start of the stream. I have the Ohuhu 72 soft pastel set, and they work really nicely, have a nice colour range. And I don't tend to use them that much though, because I find them annoying to use and a bit messy, and the fact that I've got to fix them after. But I've started using Neocolor 2s, and I tell you what, they are really easy to use. Really smooth, not very streaky, and get a really nice depth of colour. What I want to do now though is, because I find that almost too smooth, I want to have that kind of mottled, dappled effect that people create, where it's kind of like circly. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not like just a smooth blend of colour. It's kind of a bunch of different blobs almost of darker bits of colour, lighter bits of colour. I want to figure out how to do that. See if I can find some tutorials or something. See how other people approach using Neocolours. I decided a few years ago that I just wouldn't moan about the weather, and I'm about 40% happier in life now. Fair enough, Amanda. I can imagine that. I'm British and I like to moan. No matter what it is, just, yeah. My mum got me the electric heater from the attic. It's cosy, but there's nothing like putting the central heating on. Yeah. For me, I like wearing my hoodies, my blanket hoodies. They definitely warm me up and keep me cosy. Autumn is my favourite, but usually doesn't get that cold here. Yeah, it's usually October when it really starts to really get colder and sort of less than 10 degrees kind of temperature. I must have missed you saying that, Jess. I didn't know who's had soft pastels. Yeah, it was right at the start of the stream. Here's the box. Yo-hoo-hoo 72 soft pastels. I don't know if I have a review of these. I filmed one and I can't remember if I put it out or not. But I'll show you the colour range again. It's a really nice colour range. I have only used them a couple of times so far. But I love this cornflower blue for a background. Nice sky blue. And I've done like the blacks and dark blues and purples for a kind of galaxy background, which worked well. Yeah, the idea of summer is nice, but the only reason I like it is because it's the vacation time. That's it, to be honest. Whereas I don't really like the winter, to be honest, because too many layers, and then in the bus and work I get hot. Yeah, completely relate to that. OMG, so proud of you, thank you. What are you proud of me for? What did I say to make you proud? I don't know. I see, yeah, I should work with Neo colours more, practice more. Yeah, I find they apply really smoothly. Like, this was my first test at ever blending them, and for my first ever test, just really lightly colouring down and overlapping the colours worked really well, and you can't see any streaks from using the colours themselves. That was me swatching them out. Really like them, and I was intimidated to use them too, but I find they're really forgiving, a really forgiving medium. My Colourful Country Life has a tutorial on just that, Jess. It was great. Yes, that's the person I want to check out, because I've seen, it's been watching her Mythic World completed pages, and I'm like, oh, I love that effect. I want to recreate that. We like two things, moaning and queuing. I say we like them. We do them, because we have to. Right, I'm going to do Le Squirrel next. And that is using burnt sienna, and I always used to call this sanguine in my head, but I believe it's sanguine. But still, whenever I pick it up, I'm like, ooh, sanguine. You have to dab, dab, tap, tap. I think Elm Colours is one that shows you how to do it with ink tints, and maybe the Neo Colours. I can't remember, but I watched it the other day. I'll try to find a link. Yes, because I want to create that kind of dappled effect with the ink tints too. There's a certain page that I want to do in an Elm Colours style, and I know of the video. She goes over how to use them in the Boule de Poire colouring book, so I know the video I need to look at and watch that to see what her technique is and try and emulate that in my colouring. Got a specific page in mind that I think will look good on. I say sanguine or Gwyn. Apart from if you lay down too much pigment with Neo Colours like I did, it's really hard to be gentle. Yeah, I've found that with ink tints in the past and abraturas, you do have to work light, because if you have too much pigment down and too much of the colour down, the ink just kind of pools and becomes too strong, and then it dries funny. Yeah, light layers is what I've learned, and I have learned from my own mistakes. But I think I'll be probably using ink tints now more for colouring elements on a page, and then Neo Colour 2s for the backgrounds. Right, I'm going to adjust his eye now because it is bothering me. He looks so derpy, bless him. No, I'm going to get this one with a better nib. I'm just going to... extend the pupil out. That's so much cuter now. I don't know if you can tell much of a difference, but the pupil, for some reason, animals having larger pupils increases the cuteness factor, and smaller pupils increases the creepy factor. I don't know the rules, but those are the rules. I'm going to do a bit of burnt ochre on here. And grab the ivory for his chest. I'm getting to the point now with this page where I'm going to have to start thinking about the background, and I don't want to. You used mine for the first time this week on video on my Faith Hannah Carlson double page. I feel like 4. Really testing your powers there. Love that, Joe. That is a great way to fully challenge yourself. Sanguine. I look forward to getting things to be able to do backgrounds. Yeah, I feel like it's been a slow kind of collection of things. I started off with soft pastels as my first like background specific medium, and then I got ink tints and like alcohol markers, similar time sort of thing, and then just got started in Neocolor 2s. I think they're going to be my new go-to. I started off with a curated set of 20 here. In fact, I've got 21 because they sent me royal blue when I actually ordered indigo blue. And so they sent me the indigo blue as a replacement. And I based this colour selection off of Karen, my Colourful Country Life's colour combinations video. So I picked out a red combo, an orange combo, blue, a green, like a tealy blue, like a purple, like picked all the different colour families, a colour combo from her video that I could then implement in my own pages, like my favourite from her colour combo sheet. And then I can just build from there. And I think if I'm building using her colour combos, it's a good way to get a really well curated set that doesn't have any kind of similar colours that I think can sometimes be wasted, where sometimes you have 2 reds and they're really similar in tone and you're like, what's the point of having these? So that's how I'm going to be buying my Neocolors open stock. I think that will be the way I go. And I got them during Cult Pen's 3 for 2 sale that they did for back to school season. So got them for a very good price. They were £2 each and then 3 for 2, so £6 for 3. No, £4 for 3. So they're £6 for 3. So great value. And it was actually cheaper than getting a set of 20 or 10 or whatever it was, like the equivalent set on Amazon. That's why I went for that. So I think the full set of Neocolor 2s has some like metallic ones in it, and I know I would never use that, so happy to slowly accumulate them by open stock like I did with my Inktense pencils. And I still don't have the full set of Inktense, but I've got 52, and those are perfect for a range of colours for me, being able to, in fact I'll show you what Inktense colours I have. Like, there's no colour that I feel like I'm missing when I've been colouring with them. It shows that you don't necessarily need a whole big set, especially when working with the water mediums where you can blend things together a little bit easier. I tried to make sure I had like the lighter shade and the darkest shade in the colour families, and having a good distribution of each of the colour families. Some of them are very similar, like the yellows and oranges, a few of them are very similar looking to each other. I've got the majority of the greens because I love me some greens, and I find these are all quite different from each other. The ones I don't have are like the chartreusey yellow, like lemony greens. Don't tend to use them. I do feel like I need a few more browns though, but that's about it. That's about it. Happy with that. I've had the most relaxing hour or so watching and listening. I've never really tried colouring, only for small bits in card making / scrapbooking. I'm in awe with your skill. Thank you. Thank you, Pippa. That is a lovely thing for you to say. I'm glad you have enjoyed this. Yeah, colouring is such an amazing hobby and is a big rabbit hole to get into. I will pre-warn you. Once you're in it, you're in it. Get sucked in. Sorry, I kept your name Piggy. Piggy! This page has such a vintage vibe. Reminds me of the books I had as a child back in the Iron Age. Yeah, it does have that kind of like, almost like Flower Fairy style to it. I really love this page. It's really cute. Right, I need to find some blue pencils for my blueberries and bluebells. I did not get them out before the video. That's how I got my full ink tints and full polychromos and half luminance. Well, full ink tints at the time. I don't have the new colours. Or I do love the new colours. A lot of the ones that I've got I know are from the new colours range. Malibu, such a good colour. Amethyst, I know is from the... I don't know all of them, but like a lot of the really light colours. Pink Flamingo was another one, I know. There's a whole bunch of others, but I just can't remember from the top of my head. Those are some of my go-tos that I know are in the new colour sets. Right. Let's get out all the rest of the pencils I will need. So, ultramarine, light ultramarine and sky blue. And I'll probably need a darker blue for the blueberry and Danthrine blue. Where is it? It's not in my pencil case, so where is it? When you're missing a pencil and you're not sure what project you've used it on, or if it's hiding on your desk somewhere, which it is, or if it's on the floor somewhere. Well, I can't find Indantine blue, so I'll pick a different colour. Yeah, I don't know where that could be. I mean, it's probably hiding somewhere. I don't want to be hunting for it on stream right now. So let's go for dark indigo for the dark and the blueberries. Then for these red currants, let's go probably walnut brown for the shadow. And then India red could be good. No, middle cadmium red. And I know I was using that on a different page today. Middle cadmium red. And then I just need for the pink. So that I think will be Pompeian red and coral. Then I'll need beige red, cinnamon for the skin tone. Sorry, you can hear clanking. I have a little cubby system where I keep my pencils for projects that I'm working on. I just shove all the pencils on a page in the little cubby hole, and it's a really good organisation method for me. So yeah, I'll test these out. So for the red, burnt umber, yep, and deep red. No, I wanted middle cadmium red, not deep red. Don't need that. Yep, that's good. Then for the pink, I've got Pompeian. It's a bit dark, that one. And coral. Yeah, I don't know about Pompeian, but definitely coral. And then blueberries, I think we'll do the dark indigo and ultramarine. Works well. And I have light ultramarine and sky blue for the bluebells. I will probably start with that. Just write these down before I forget. Light ultramarine. Often I like these scraps of paper where I have my alcohol markers swatched down here that I can layer the pencils over the top for the ones I like. This was dark indigo and ultramarine and Pompeian red and coral. There we go. Right. Yeah, they need to bring out a pastel set of Inktense. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Because I personally love the darkest and the lightest shades in Inktense the best. Those are the ones that I tend to use the most. Even though people say, oh, you just need to water it down, but sometimes you don't want a watered down look. You just want it to be, you know, light to begin with. Yes, you have to colour every day since I started, so addicted, absolutely. Hi Shelley, wow, you've moved fast on this one. Which is funny, because if you play back from the start, it took me a long time. There was a long periods of times where I didn't colour anything, but because I had the base layer done, it means that the pencil shading goes by really quickly. Thanks for joining, Shelley. Lovely to have you here as always. You've just found a free colouring book on Facebook. Ooh, it's a pregnant woman. A bit weird. You know what? I think the weirdest colouring page I've ever seen is by Stratton Peterson. And you know I love me some Stratton Peterson. But let me just find you it. Because it is the weirdest page I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I need to go onto our website. And it just makes me think, who is colouring this, like, for real? Might take me a second to find this. I started this page when I entered this chat, and I do believe it may be my first ever whip. I have coloured 3 inches of ornate carved wood. I want to stick my pencil in my eye. Oh, that's the Pinocchio page, isn't it? Yeah, that carved wood border is a lot. It is a lot. Right, colouring pages on Strat Lacy Art. And you know I adore her art style, but this is the weirdest page ever. It's of some ovaries. Who wants to colour their own fallopian tubes? I think, I mean, it's beautiful, but I don't want to colour some ovaries. I don't need to colour a uterus. I just think it's funny. But I like this kind of body empowerment of it. And the flowers are pretty. I'm just like, this is quite old. I've seen this a while ago, and it just makes me laugh, because I went on her page the other day just to see what colouring pages she had. She has some cute individual ones. I like this one. Just, you know, saying it how it is. This, that and you, it's called. You don't want to colour that? Yeah, I think I'll keep the ovaries inside me rather than colouring them. I mean, these are gorgeous. It's just a random kind of female anatomy class, which I don't want when I'm colouring. I don't need my female anatomy class whilst colouring. I just thought it was funny. it's like, what colours would you do it? Would you do it realistic colours, like reds and pinks? Like, it's funny. There's some female empowerment. Yeah, I saw a wallpaper page of vaginas yesterday. Fair enough. As you do. I mean, there are definitely some adult colouring books out there, which I think is funny. You colour what you like to colour. I don't think I'd ever be inclined to colour like that. Lots of people found that funny. I love what it stands for. I have PCOS and struggled having... I agree. I love what it stands for, and I think as a piece of art, it's interesting. It's just, as the casual person downloading a colouring page, I'm genuinely curious, like, who's downloading that? Who's colouring that? Who is getting up close with their female anatomy? It's just interesting. Right, let's do the blueberries next, starting with the dark indigo. And I am not focusing on colouring these realistically. I'm just shading them a little bit. You'd colour it purple, fair enough. And a blue ovary. Rainbow ovary. 12 years between my kids, and I get asked why I waited for so long. You're just... yeah, I bet you're tired of people asking you that and you're going, well, I did try. It's a hard thing, sort of fertility, to talk about. It's a very sensitive topic, and it's not nice to be asked, like, oh, when are you having kids? One, you may not want kids, and two, you may be trying your hardest and it's not happening, and it can be very kind of triggering to be asked that. Anyway, I don't want to get too sad and serious. Keep this things nice and light here. Where's the flowery peen, everyone, eh? Who wants to colour a peen with flowers on it? Gotta go, friends. Thanks for a nice afternoon chat. Thanks thanks for joining us, Chrissy. Have a good rest of your day. Rainbow berry. a new colouring challenge. It's a rainbow berry. You think it may be colouring rainbows in February? No, it's colouring rainbow ovaries. You know, keep people on their toes. Very good for cancer awareness. Yeah, it would be. Yeah. I was literally about to turn to Memphis for an icebreaker. I mean, it would be rude not to. You know, equality. Yeah, I do like it as a piece of art and what it stands for and what it means, but not for colouring. No. Womb of Wonder. Send that to Johanna Basford for her next book. I've got an idea for you. Womb of Wonders. Oh, have you got a speech impediment? Are you okay? It's room. No, I mean womb. I mean womb. Love that. I am intrigued though to see, even though Wonderful Wildflower is not out yet, I'm intrigued to see what the next book is, because I thought Wonderful Wildflowers was a bit boring, like samey, she's done it before, whereas I'm interested in something different and unique, like magical worlds, rooms of wonder, worlds of wonder, fun, creative ideas. So I'm like, usually she teases it at the end of the year, so December-ish time. Yeah, even though that one's not out yet, I'm looking forward to what the next one is, because I was a little bit disappointed by it. It's just not one for me to add in my collection. Also excited to see more of Inklings, because that should be nice and cute. Yeah, World of Flowers 2, really. Yeah, I agree. It's World of Flowers 2.0, just with a different name. You're very excited for Rita's new one. I'm a bit concerned though, because it's still not available to pre-order anywhere. Like, so it's like, is it going to be released next month? I don't know. Right, starting with the red here with burnt umber and what's middle cadmium red. Yeah, I'm really excited to see a flip through of it. Though I am waiting for a flip through before I would want to pre-order, just in case it's not my style, because it does seem to be a little bit different from Rita's other books. It's based on her puzzles, which I'm not as familiar with. Yeah, you're also looking forward to Sneaks of Inklings. I'd like a Magical Worlds, but with another theme. Yeah, I'd like something animal themed. Like, the pages I really loved in Wonderful Wildflowers were all the animals made of flowers. I thought they were really cool. I'd love a Wonderful Animals or a World of Animals. What are some of her names? Magical Animals, Enchanted Animals, Worlds of Animals. I'd love actually to see another storybook from her, like Ivy, but with her more like updated style. I think that would be really cool to see another storybook from her. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of work coming up the story and all the colouring pages for it. It was a while ago, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, so it'd be nice to see something else like that. It's wishful thinking. I was also a little bit disappointed with Magical Worlds, and I think in hindsight now, I wasn't disappointed with it, I was just disappointed because of the theme. Like Magical Worlds, I was expecting more magic about it, and it was more just like worlds. It was just worlds, like fun worlds. Like there were some magical pages, but almost like equally as magical as all of our other books. I was expecting her to go really magical, like enchanted fairies and castles and witches, wizardry images. No, I still have to start in Ivy. Yeah, I'm still very slow going in Ivy. I was going to buy the Spooky Cuties book, like Capybara Cuties, but I didn't and went for Lululemon instead. Mayo. Damn it. You can't do Mayo. You've seen Lululemon too many times online. Just think that must be it. Yeah, I'm actually being sent the Spooky Cuties and Christmas Capybara Cuties, or Capybara Christmas, the Christmas one. The publisher has got sending me a copy, so I will be doing flip throughs of those as soon as they arrive. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. They reached out and asked if I'd like them, and I was like, ooh, yes I would actually, thank you very much. It's always nice when something you had your eye on and a publisher reaches out. So don't know when they will arrive, but soon, I think. You think it was called A Little Adventurer? Yeah. Oh, I just realised something very cool and new to me. If you use metallic/glitter watercolours and don't switch water, you can turn any watercolour glittery. Yes! I did that for flights of fancy, I had old glittery watercolour in it, and there's like a glittery sheet. It's going to be very hard to pick up now because I've got silver ink splattered on top, but even in the bits without it, there's like a very subtle glittery sheen. You could really tell it when I had the flash on. Yeah, you can see it's like the really, really fine bits of glitter. But yeah, it just made it look like extra magical. Seems like so long ago that I did that one on stream, but it was only the start of this month. Yeah, Rita's book is Dansland Adventurer or something like that. It's on my upcoming book releases wish list, which is in the description of the video. So if you go on that and find the Rita Berman one, you can see the cover image for it. I wonder if a new book from Kirby will be inspired by his recent trip to Africa and climbing Kilimanjaro. Oh, that would be lovely to see more animals from him. I mean, Zoomorphia sounds amazing. I'm sure there'll be a few African-inspired pages in there. Janet is really good at animals. I would love to do something like magical lands. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Like having maybe even like different themed magical lands, and you're like hopping from island to island, because she does those really fun floating island pages, and it'd be cool if she had maybe one as like a starter and then had what's on that magical floating island, like individual bits from that, kind of really go into the theme. Because I love her imagination, especially in like Rooms of Wonder. I think her imagination is amazing in that book, and that's what disappointed me about The Wonderful Wildflowers. It felt like she'd taken a step backwards in terms of her art style and her imagination. It was just so many just flowers and not enough interesting incorporations of flowers. Like if there were a few pages which were like wallpaper flower pages, just one flower on a page, I could have bought that. But like the majority of pages were something different and interesting. But as it isn't the case, I don't think I'll be adding it. But I'll look forward to seeing others completed pages of it, I'm sure. And if I was just starting colouring and I didn't already have World of Flowers, I would probably be inclined to get Wonderful Wildflowers over World of Flowers. I just think it's slightly better, but they're each pretty cute. It's like I don't want to badmouth the book because it's beautiful artwork. I just am disappointed in it, and I know I wouldn't reach for it over my other books in my collection. Right, I'm going to have to start deciding on what to do with the background. So if you guys have ideas, I would love to hear. Your chair is farting. Oh, honestly, it's so creaky. And whenever I move it to show how creaky it is, it doesn't creak. It's the back. And if I move it, can I get it? Yeah, I'm just moving around in my chair now. But it's like when I do my Completely Pages video, I always cut me moving the book out. Mainly because I throw it on a pile on the floor, but also because my chair squeaks when I move. Although when I want it to squeak, it doesn't squeak. There we go, that was a good squeak. You've got to run, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks for joining, Ivy. Have a good rest of your day as well. You need to add the magic, Jess. Oh, I have no magic about me. I don't have the magic of drawing. I can colour. That's kind of an inspirational thing. The real magic is the colour you put on the page. Someone frame that. Artists need to listen to us. You know, an artist who really does listen to people, and I appreciate that about them? I wonder if anyone can guess who I'm about to say. But R.J. Hampson. He really does listen to his community. Like, he heard that people love Mr. Fogarty, and since creating that first Mr. Fogarty book, he's been doing one a year because he knows people love it. He did last year. Last year was the year of fan favourites. He knew that loads of people wanted more duplicates with the difference pages, so he spent majority of last year doing that and is still updating old books to this day. And the fact that he doesn't really make much money out of it, I doubt. Although I held off of buying a few books until he did the duplicates with the difference, so I was searching for those. So yeah, I think he's great for listening to his audience. His audience? His customers. I've got Rita Berman Africa, Autumn Walk and Hidden Oceans coming, as I only have the Asia one right now. I'm such a colour book noob, I have to spend so much money to catch. But it's so exciting though, starting your colouring journey and bringing in all the fun books and looking at video reviews and going, okay, I only want to get 1 or 2 books. Which 1 or 2 of those books by that artist do I want to get first? Like when I started colouring with Rita Berman, I got the Seasons compilation book and Die Welt under de Lupe, not Die Welt, the Mein Spaziergang durch die Jahreszeiten, the Seasons compilation book. Nope, that's what I just said. I got the Seasons compilation book and Mein Reise durch Europa. Words, hard. But that was the only one that was out at that time of the travel series, and it's still my favourite. I love that book. You're getting Asia and Africa next. They're both... Oh, I really hope that Rita continues her journey throughout the world. I really want to see one with the States of America. I think that would be awesome. And I really want to see Oceania. Those are my 2 ones that I really want to see. And then obviously South America as well would be awesome. Like, or the llamas. That'd be cute. Light muted blue background would be pretty. Yeah, like similar to colour of like... Bring in the blueberry tones. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like a dark blue, but I was like, do I want to make it nighttime? I don't know. My chair farts too, it's okay. I did WD-40 it though, and that helped. Yeah, I need to do that too. I need to ask my dad to sort it soon. You only have Europa, Asia and Africa, and I love them. I think if you were to only get 3, get the travel books. They are the best in my opinion. You're also thinking light blue for the background. You have 40 books in 3 months and I'm stopping. I have too much now. I got, like, people look at my collection, they go, that's insane. Why do you have so many books? My first 6 months of colouring, I had 17 books. And then it kind of exploded from there. And I think over the next 3 months, I bought over double that or something. But I started out really slow and I really spent a lot of time in the books that I had. But, like, don't compare your collections to others because... everyone's different. Yes, I have Oceans and Seasons and I love them. I love RJ. You were going to say RJ? Yeah, I was wondering if any of you were thinking of RJ. I think he's great. He really, and you can tell that he listens. Like the newsletters he does, he has a really great interaction with his audience. And the fact that he has a YouTube channel, I think is brilliant. Yeah, it's a great way for artists to connect with the colorists of their books. You started your collection 3 months ago too and have around the same now. I used to have 50 but I gave them all away about 8 years ago, not 80, bloody hell. I think it's harder for me to enjoy the beginning of it just because I'm still kicking myself for giving it all one away. But it's done so I can't change it, yeah. And you know what, you've kind of... like, think of it as enjoying the process again. Like, I'd love to almost start from scratch and build it up, and the serotonin boost you get from receiving colouring books in the post is, oh, it's so good. I keep saying, no more books. I've got enough books. I need to colour in the books that I have before getting more. And then I'm just like, I feel a bit sad. I want to buy a book. So I buy a couple of books. It really does lift my mood up a bit. Want a Canada one, lol? Yeah, lovely to have. You could do, I think, America and then a Canada section at the end, kind of like how there's a Scandinavian section at the end of Europa. I think that would be a good idea of incorporating that. Meine Reise durch America. I don't know what it'd be in German. Ooh. I'm trying to decide on a border colour for Xenia Sparina's Alice Images, and I'm thinking it needs to be the same on every page. Pressure. My go-to is always gold. I just love a gold border. I think it's great. Yes, I hope she carries on with the world's books. Africa is my favourite at the moment. Africa's a lot of people's favourites. Europa will forever be my favourite, I think, unless she does something incredible with the next one. In my little collection, I have one book from a lot of illustrators. I'm resisting getting multiple in until I have coloured way more in that first book. I think that's a great system to have and something I wish I did. Because there's some illustrators where I bought multiple in one go. Like I bought 4 R.J. Hampsons in one go and it was almost overwhelming. They sat uncoloured for such a long time and I didn't quite get to it. So I wish I'd just bought one at a time now, but I was too excited. You think a light forget-me-not colour? Very light blue, the same family as the bluebells would look nice. Okay, so it seems like the consensus is we're going blue for the background, so that's great. I love looking at Colouring by Kamama's collection, so I love that you have loads, Jess. Yeah, I mean, Yolanda has what I call an archive. I think she must bring book collection in the Netherlands, considering it's such a small country and colouring is quite a neat hobby. She has over 800. It's just amazing. And I think collecting books as part of the hobby, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of untouched books. Just having a large collection brings people so much joy. Like how people collect Disney plushies or Funko Pops or Star Wars figurines, I don't know. Like, you collect loads of things and they just sit on a shelf and do nothing, but colouring books, you can at least admire them a lot more. You don't have any of RJ's books? RJ was one of those artists that took me a while to get into. Once I did, I was obsessed. Just finished another RJ page and one nearly done. He explains his marker work so well too. I actually haven't watched any of his colour alongs, and I need to. I really loved the one he did of the dragon with the fireflies. It turned out really cool. I see a lot of the sped up versions of them. I've been colouring for 5 years and I limited myself to about 10 artists and only buy their books. Otherwise it'd be crazy. I only have about 80 books. That's a very limited collection, Shelley. I could not restrain myself that much. My vice is the media. Oh yeah. See, I feel like I'm quite restrained with my media, but I do have quite a few. I'm somewhere in the middle, I think, for both. Like, I have a big collection of books, but I don't have a crazy large collection of books. Like, not that people are crazy for having a large collection. I've got 250 something, just over 250. But it's kind of somewhere in the middle. And like the same with supplies, I'm somewhere in the middle of the amount of supplies I have. True, it's like Christmas every week, exactly. But you do colour in the books that you have? Yeah, I do, and it is a goal to have all of mine coloured in as well. Life is too short, buy the colouring books, guys, exactly. No, we Canadians don't like to be lumped in with America. I know, I bet you don't, but yeah, I can't imagine Rita would do a whole book just on Canada, I'm afraid. I think I only have 2 untouched books, and that's only because I forget I have them. That's great, Yana. That's great. And then that means that it's not too hard to get those 2 books coloured in. Yeah, we want more than just flowers, though I do want the first flower book. It's art, yeah. It's your line art museum, as, who was it? Jojo Zahana used to say. It's your line art museum. I think it was her. I'm stumped on how to colour the rest of this shell thing I'm colouring in Imagine Morphia. Ooh, shells, hard. His voice, so wholesome. After the colour cube drama this week, I was very happy to escape to RJ. Oh gosh, dear. It's still going, and a lot of people have been commenting in the group like, why are people complaining? I'm sorry, but as customers, we're allowed to have opinions. You're allowed to voice grievances, and you shouldn't voice opinions and suggestions without feeling like you're... Like, I agree, you shouldn't be nasty, but I don't think a lot of people were being nasty. There were some people who were going, why is she doing this? Is it for money? And I can imagine, like, that is annoying to hear and upsetting to hear because it's not true. But then there's people just going, I don't want duplicates. I would like all unique cards. And she just dismisses them, and that's the thing that annoys me. I'm not telling you all how many books I have, lol. I should look up a reference, but I don't know what it's called or if it's a real creature. Which book is it in? Does it have it in the back of the book? Oh, it's Imagimorphia. No, it wouldn't. It just has the hidden objects, doesn't it? Take a picture and ask ChatGPT what it is, Amanda. Be like, what is this creature? And then you can find a reference. Yeah, go on, Saturn. Tell us how many books you have. As for art supplies, I have so many. Fair enough, Shelley. That's what brings you joy. It's my favourite book, but I agree I was expecting more magical. The second you said that, I thought, oh no, poor Canada. I know, I don't mean it in like a bad way, but in just a kind of realistic way. Like, Canada's a gorgeous country and you could definitely fill a whole book with Canada. But as a European who is illustrating the book, I don't think she would do a whole book on it. If I hear numbers like 200 plus, I'm like, is this what the average colorist has? I don't know. Because there's a lot of people that they don't share their colouring collections online, so you don't know how many they have. But I don't know what the average would be. That would be an interesting survey to create. Like, what's the average number of books people have? Saturn's Line Art Museum has 325 books. Nice. That's a nice amount. I can see my collection being that this time mid next year. I could see that. It's the way she has allowed her biggest fans to really gang up on her customers. I was surprised she was condoning it in the comments. Yeah, I just... It's a bit odd what she's done, in my opinion. And I understand why she's done it. I get it. But people are comparing it to different things, and it's not that we don't like a new version existing. Let her have this second edition of the colour cubes. So the drama is she's releasing colour cubes 3 and 4. She's got 2 at the moment, but she is reformatting all of the colour cubes so that they are in better categories. And I like that. And I've just noticed where my blue pencil is. It was up on a different organiser. Side tangent. That's how my brain works. But she has 1 and 2 already out, and she's releasing 3 and 4. But with the releasing of 3 and 4, some of the palettes in 3 and 4 have come from 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 have been reformatted, so some are new, some are old. And the annoyance from people is, why can't there just be, for the people who already have 1 and 2, why can't we just have an option to just get the cards with the old numbering system, so you have your first edition series and a second edition series? But a lot of people are defending her in the fact that, oh, if an iPhone from 15 years ago makes updates, you don't have to buy it. Lots of people are saying you don't have to buy it, and that's not the point of what people are saying. People just want new colour palettes to play with. She says it's just a few with the second set, and with the volumes 3 and 4, but it's over 100 palettes that are reused from volumes 1 and 2. And they are expensive products. To be buying 3 and 4 for what you just want the new colour palettes for, you're missing out on just over 100 palettes. Which, that's the odd thing to me. And I don't understand why after this discourse and this backlash and people rightfully so voicing these opinions, she hasn't gone, okay, I listen to you, I hear you, I understand you, it is a lot of money. Here's an option for volumes 3 and 4 where you just have the new cards, you don't have 100 repeats, and it's £10 cheaper. Something like that. Like, I'm not even interested in the 100 cards that got replaced with the old ones. I don't care about that. I would just like volumes 3 and 4 to have all new palettes. And to me that seems like an easy fix. But no, she's blown it out of proportion. And for me, it's just left a bad taste in my mouth. The fact that she doesn't seem to be understanding. People who have said, all I want is just the new palettes, I don't want any duplicates. She goes, that's fine, you don't have to buy it. That's not what people are saying. And that's what annoys me. When you're just being ignorant to what people are saying and not listening and understanding. I appreciate how she's replying to comments, but we don't want duplicates. As colourists, I have no use for a duplicate card. And yeah, a few, I'd say less than 20, that would be a few. 100 is not a few. 100 is a bloody lot. But yeah, I talked about a lot of that in the last video, and for anyone that wasn't aware of the discourse, that's my summary of it, whilst getting sidetracked by finding a pencil. You have as many books as I do. Colourful Planner, mother of 3. Nice. I did think it was a bit on doing 1 and 2 again. Yeah. I started buying more books in May and have 10ish now, but plan to buy more. Ooh, that's exciting, Lisa. 400 pallets are duo-located. Yeah, like they've been redistributed. So 1 and 2, I think volume 3 has something like 200 new cards and 50 old cards. And volume 4 has 187 new cards and then 60 whatever old cards from volumes 1 and 2. It's for a good reason. I think it's going to create a better product in the long run. But for the people who have had these products, and especially for people who have bought them in the last year, but for me it doesn't matter when you spent the money, you spent the money. For those people having these products that now to buy 3 and 4, you're getting 100 useless cards, that's just, it's annoying. Yes, I see why people who had the old system wants an update. Like the changes she's made are great and I think they're good, but have a first edition and a second edition with the updated better system, so you please both sides of the people. And the people that want to support her no matter what can buy all 4 new cubes, because there are people who will do that and just spend the crazy amount of money that is. And then you have the people who just want the first edition with the old numbering system and none of the tabs and whatnot. The tabs are great. I think that the changes she made are great. But why doesn't she listen to what people are saying? I had no idea that she would reuse palettes. That would definitely stop me from buying the 3 and 4. Me too, Paulina. I just don't agree with that. Like, just give us an option to buy the new ones without buying old ones and spending money on something that we won't use. She could just offer a discount with proof of purchase of the first cubes. Agreed, yeah. Like a 20% discount, because 20% of the product is useless to you because it's 100 out of 500 cards. So having a 20% discount, that would be fair to me. And she's doing a 20% discount, but it's for people who have bought the cubes within 3 months or less. And I don't think that's good. If you're going to offer it to people who bought the cubes 3 months ago or sooner, then offer it to everyone who had the old cubes, because everyone who's got them will have the same grievances. I think this is the first drama I've heard in the colouring community at all. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of odd. Hi Rebecca, welcome. Thanks for joining in stream. A lot of people that don't know there are duplicates will just buy it without knowing, and that will be upset. Yeah, I'd be annoyed if I didn't know that there were duplicates, because it is confusing what they've done. There are 250 cards in a cube, so would be 500 in 2 cubes. There's 500 at the moment and she's getting up to 1,000. I emailed them and asked for a discount as I got mine in July. I got one, so I'm satisfied to buy, but now I'm a bit put off by the response to the legitimate polite point raised. Yeah, I agree, and I remember seeing your comments on the posts. I remember seeing piggy pens popping up. It wasn't necessary to spread 400 across all 4 new cubes. It was a bit of a personal need on her part. I see, that's the thing where I won't necessarily say it's for a business reason and to make more money. I think she's done it for the categories. So, because looking at the cubes, I've got some here. So, for example, say this was in cube 2 and this was in cube 1. And she wanted a category. One of the categories is landscapes. She'd want these to be in the same category. And by the way she's done the categories, they're in number order. So one of them would get moved to the other cube. I understand that. But make all of the new cube categories brand new. make all of the overlapped categories be in the old cubes and have the brand new categories with the brand new cards in the new cubes. That would make more sense to me, actually. So I understand the new system she has and why she's done it, but it is annoying. I suppose it's for the cards where maybe there was only like 10 beach themed ones and she wanted a full beach themed category. All of those beach cards got moved to number 3, for example. So it's like, I understand her, like, I get it as someone who's creating a product and wanting to create the best thing. I understand it, but don't piss off the thousands, it is thousands of people who have bought them already. And they're not cheap. They're not a quick buy, not a impulse buy that you just bought and would be easy to replace. They are expensive products. And yes, no one's saying you have to buy them. No one has to buy anything, but that shouldn't be an excuse to do this to your customers. Right, I'm trying to find beige red. Here it is. Yeah, the categories are a good idea. It works better to spread them out. Yeah, agree. She also said some of them from the OG set she's not putting the newer ones. And I like that there's, because looking at the colour cube cards, there are some which are very similar to each other. Like, say, oh, I can't even think of an example, but there's some which are like a range of blues. And it's like, you don't need 3 different colour palettes, which are just a range of blues. Anyone can think of a range of blues. That's not an interesting colour palette. So she's kind of got rid of those monochromatic ones, or a lot of the repeating monochromatic ones. And there's some which say, like 2 palettes which have red, yellow and blue in. And there's only like 1 slight shade difference in the blue. She's gotten rid of one of them, which she doesn't like as much. And I think that's fine. You're allowed to evolve with your products, but don't make new things that people want to buy, because that's the problem. People want to buy the new cubes. They want new colour cubes. They've been asking for this for years. Don't make those people feel like what they've bought is redundant. I think I've done her skin a little bit too dark here, and I kind of regret that, but I'll add in a bit of ivory pencil to brighten it up a bit. Should have left a bit more of the alcohol marker underneath. Could have just got more beach theme pictures to add to the cubes, lol. Yeah, it's like, it's just the way she's gone about it, and the fact in this discourse, because people have said, oh, you're doing this just to make more money. Like, people are going to think that you've spread these cards out to make people think, oh, I need to rebuy 1s and 2. Doesn't matter how much you say, I didn't do that, I swear I didn't. Doesn't matter how much you say that. That's what people perceive as the customer. That's what they perceive, and it's not them necessarily speaking negatively of you. They're not saying you're a horrible person. They're saying you're a businesswoman making a business decision, and they've recognised that. Yeah, she did a post saying, and there's been a lot of posts in this group saying, I want to say Sarah's amazing and all this, and you guys are being awful for complaining. She's just creating new products and evolving. And it's like, but you're not understanding the annoyance people have. I just don't think, I think they're reading, but they're not understanding what people are saying. I think I'll use beige red as well on this to keep it nice and light. It's a bit of a unique pink colour that doesn't really have a good match in the Polychromos, but make of it as I will. Oh, I missed a bunch of comments because my thing glitched out. The shell is a Nautilus shell, so I understand the anatomy of it better now. That's good that you figured that out, Amanda. I have the colour cubes, but I agree, I don't want duplicates. I would like an option to just buy the new colour cards that aren't in cube 1 and 2. Agreed, Rebecca, and I don't understand how, after having all of these people complain, she hasn't gone, okay, give me a week, let me work on that, Like everything just seems to take so long with her. Like with the swatch decks, people said, oh, I want something that's suitable for watercolour paper. And she's like, oh, we're working on it. How long does it take? I mean, I know things take a long time to produce, but like, how long does it actually take? Such a long time of people just waiting. And thinking, oh, right, I'll buy this product. And then they release a new product. And you're like, oh, great. Especially as they're still selling the OG cubes today without advising the customers that there's new ones imminent. Yeah, I think that's the kind of shady thing. Like, and still selling them at full price as well. I think that's a bit kind of like, surely at this point you'd be like going, okay, we're getting some new cubes next month. It's not in months away, it's next month. Here's a sale on the old ones to get rid of our old stock. But no, they're just trying to get people in and still doing lots of advertising. There's been lots of people saying that they keep seeing it pop up on Facebook advertising. Night Vera, gotta go now, getting tired. Thank you for the stream. Bye everyone in chat. Hope you have good sleep. And Shelley's off to bed too. I will pop a completed page in the community tab, as I think that's fun. I did that for the last page as well. I'm happy she revamped it, but just like the new ones. I got cube 1 and 2 organised in colour scheme in my order. Yeah, and a lot of people have categorised it and ordered it and got rid of cards they don't like and made tabs themselves, and they just want new ones to add to that. That's all people want. They just want new things to play with. Right, let me grab my alcohol mask swatch sheet. So I used B340 to base these bluebells. So something light. B340, I think would be a little bit too dark, maybe B260. I'll get that, and I'll get B220, and I'll do a little swatch on here so we can hold it up. So B260, B220. B220, B250. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find the marker. It's because it was in a different section. B260. I have 1,000 photos from around Scotland that I've taken from days out with my dad. I'm going to make colour palettes from them and print them out on photo paper, number them and keep them in a photo album. It took me about 300 years though. That's such a fun idea. I love that. So I'm going to just do a swatch of each of these colours next to the edge, just so I can hold them up and compare. I might grab B340 as well, just to see if I like that. There we go. Do it there. Let them dry. Oh, and I've got them in the order, so that's the order going down. No better palette than those nature creates. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying after this discourse, like, just make your own palettes. And it's like, oh, not everyone has the time and energy and effort and printer to do that. And you can find so many online, so I think I'll just keep to that. The ones that 2 cubes I have, and then one's online. And then maybe a couple of years down the line, after all this has died down, I can invest in the other 2. But it's a shame though, there's some really, really pretty palettes in this new one, and there's a pastel section, which, you know, I love my pastel palettes, and that was something that was really lacking with the full 2. She may send you the full package. I doubt it, actually. I doubt I am have a big enough following for her to deem it worth it, to be honest. With all my negativity. The thing is, it's not negativity, it's frustration. Wanting for something better. So what do we think? Blue number 1, 2, 3 or 4 for the background. I don't think I like the bottom 2. Let me pop it here. Nope. Let me go here. I want it to go upside down. For the background. That is the same base colour as the bluebells. That is a nice light blue. Bit boring though, bit basic for me for the background. I think these are a bit too greyish. I think that might be a bit too dark. Between those two, number 1 and number 2. It's a hefty project to have, but I think it'd be fun to have some of my photographs in physical form and have a practical reason for it. Yeah, so it's like a 2-in-1 project almost, having all those photos and the colour palettes for them. It's a great idea. Yeah, I love her videos. I'm not being negative Nancy. I just feel sorry for the consumers who felt attacked. On a lighter note, I coloured 2 more inches without even realising. Lovely. It's come inch by inch. You like number 1? The light one with the bit of pencil on the edges of the circle coming in. Yeah, I think that would look nice. So like kind of almost vignette effect to it. I often do that. Where it'll be a nice light base. Then I'll do a tiny bit of pencil shading. In fact, I would probably use this pencil. Use that to shade in from the edge. That's quite cute, actually. Number 2. Rather than number 1. Would be a little bit more subtle of a difference. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the lighter one just because I don't want it to blend in with this too much. And I found that if I use mid-tones, which I'd class this as a mid-tone. If I use mid-tones for backgrounds, it looks too bold. I'd much rather a very dark background or a very light background. But that's my personal preference. So I'm going for B220. These can go away now. Double checking papers there. And this is quite an easy background to colour because there's no large sections. This is a larger section, which makes it easy to get a nice smooth layer of colour, but a bit annoying because it's lots of little bits here and there. But yeah, thank you all for your help with deciding that, because I think I may have been inclined to go for a dark blue, and I think that would have given the wrong tone to the page. It would have been a nice contrast, but I don't know if I'd want something high contrast for this page. Just noticed a bit of green there, miss. Just colour that in with pencil. There we go. Could probably not even see it on camera, it was so tiny. But before this stream, I was actually working on the mushroom dinosaur page from the Kirby Rosanis 10-year celebration book, because I got a message from Lomart on Instagram saying if I had picked a page for their collaboration post, and I was like, yes, I have. They were like, great, it's for the 4th of October, and I was like, oh gosh, I need to pull my finger out and get going on that page. So I just took the markers back out and fully finished the marker base of the page. I will show it to you once I'm done with this background. But yeah, just continued with the same colour palette of markers that I had and based everything. That was a really hard page to base actually, because there was so many tiny little mushrooms in there. So this will be a good example actually of how to use alcohol markers, because we've got this bit where our hand meets there. So I'm just going back and forth over these two sections to make sure that the marker stays wet. And then fill out those sections. And that helps to minimize streaks. Because if you just carried on colouring this bit up the top and then came back to around here, you would have had like a definite line where the alcohol marker is dried from before, and you've put on a new layer and it sits on top. For some colours it's less noticeable than others. For yellows, I find that's a really easy page to do backgrounds with, because you don't notice those layers of or streaks if you're using pencil, because it's such a light colour. If you have a bit of the white of the page showing, you can't tell as well because it's so light. On the other hand, if you have a really dark colour, you can't tell streaks because it's so dark. And it may look funny when you colour it first, because I have a backing sheet behind. Like, you can see a line there, but once it dries, you can't see it. It's just with the alcohol marker being wet, and if you pick the page up, you see it's not actually showing through. It's just when the page is wet, you can see underneath it. Like when you have the colouring heaven or the number behind, you can often see that shining through, and you think, oh gosh, what have I done? It looks awful. But then the colour dries and it all looks fine. You have a similar problem when Amazon books are printed with the black on the back of the page. Your colours, you put it down, you go, my colour didn't look like that. Why is it so dark? It looks awful. And then the colour dries and you're like, okay, that looks fine. Or it looks a bit muted because it looks a bit kind of grey through the paper. There we go, nice, quick, easy background there. Put my project on Ko-Fi and call it 50 Shades of Scotland. Love that. Love that idea. 50 Shades of Scotland for the cheap price of £69. Do you still have Neds roaming around it, Amanda? Yeah, plenty of Neds. I don't know what that means, I'll be honest. You're watching intently. Yeah, hope that was helpful, Kimberlyn. And then to create that subtle vignette effect, I've got my pencil Sky Blue here. And I will just lightly shade around the outside. And I do find it hard to keep it consistent going all the way around, especially when it's so broken up like this, but you just add a little bit here and there, and eventually you get to a point where it looks as even as it can be. I do struggle shading in a circular motion and keeping it even, because unlike with something straight going across where you can get a ruler out and measure if you need to, the circle doesn't have that same ability to do that. It's just giving it a tiny bit of depth, kind of vignette look. Well, there we go. That's it. That's it for the pencil shading. And I am really happy with the decision to keep the background just alcohol marker, a nice flat colour, and then have the rest of the image. Oh, you can see my messy desk. Let me zoom you back in. There we go. And then have the rest of the central image as the pencil shaded. Oh, Rebecca is agreeing with my choice. Oh, a good choice for the light blue and shade with the pencil. Thank you. Yeah, I think it really pulls the focus into the center and lets your eye not get distracted by the busyness of the background, lets it just be a wallpaper. I will probably take my white paint pen and go over these stripes where the alcohol marker has bled over the edges, and it's not bleed as such. I can colour in the lines, but in worse quality paper it will feather outside the lines of what you're colouring. I mean, sometimes it may be my fault, but I try and leave like a tiny gap because you can never see like the tiny gaps between. But I'm going to go over that, and then what I want to do is go over the lines with gold and do this border edge with a gold signo. But yeah, just cleaning up these white lines first, then I'll go over with the gold. But I think I will do that off camera, just because I like to get close up so I can see everything clearly. And it'll just be me going down the lines. And I'm not doing the whole line. It's just the black lines covering up with the gold. But yeah, thank you for your kind comments, everyone. I will sign off here. I will do some highlights, like a little eye shiny in his hair, in his eye, highlights on the dress. And then I think I'll do the wings off camera because I want to concentrate on those. I may even outline them with gold. I think that might be cute. Put some highlights on the mushrooms. It's basically the opposite side of wherever I've put the pencil shading, put the white highlight. I will sign off once I've done the white because I have work early in the morning. Who needs sleep when I'm living with you? Working starting at 7 AM tomorrow, my usual Thursday. But as per usual, whenever I say I'm signing off, I continue to work on it for a little bit longer, doing little bits here and there. All the berries and outsides of the leaves. I think it's good sometimes to see how people approach doing the white paint pen highlights. It's something you just kind of do almost whatever feels right to you. And I keep going until I think enough of the elements have the white highlight. I like to go on the outside edge of leaves, highlights on the eyes and hair. Go crazy on like the fur here. Just emphasising some of the marker lines that Kanoko's put in. Make it look extra fluffy. Right, I think that will be where I leave it for now. There we go. Right, yes, everyone, thank you for joining me here today. I really enjoyed colouring this page on stream with you, and it has been great motivation having you along for the journey. We've had some lovely conversations tonight. Only a little rant, only a tiny one at the end. Not as much as last stream, which is good, but yeah. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have a good night or a good rest of your day, or wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all in the next stream, which will be Friday. And I think I'm going to be doing a new page. I may do the Kirby page that I talked about earlier, or something new in Moonlight Mischief by RJ Hampson. One of those. But you will see that on Friday. But yeah, thanks for joining everyone. I'll see you in the next stream. Take care everyone. Bye.